My name is Matthew Lillard. You've probably seen me in many a horrible movie back in the 90s. Can we start again? It's me, Matt! Hi. I'm major motion picture star Matthew Lillard. Hi. All right, Sam. I'm Matthew Lillard. What's the line? You just do whatever the fuck. I almost had it. I got booger on my shirt. What's the first line? I was in terrible movies during the 90s. You grew up on them and you watched them, sucker. My name is Matthew Lillard. You may know me as Beetle from Beetle and Grimm's. Last couple of years, our company is focused primarily on the DM, creating battle maps, in-world handouts, jewelry items, and of course, stuffed animals. Now it's time to focus on you, the players. Because when we gather around a table, we're not there to hear a story, we're there to tell a story. All of us. And sometimes that story goes on for years and is remembered only on coffee-stained scraps of paper or 3 random journals. But worst of all, it's in your head. And why is that bad? Because I'm not that smart. Bill's way smarter than me. When he says it's Grimm that killed the frost giant that was on its way to destroy the town, I can't really argue with him because I don't have it on a journal. And if I had it in a journal, sitting on a bookshelf, you could just say, hey, check out my journal. We all know the problem with a journal. In a real game, when are you gonna use that thing? On a real night of gaming, you bounce from a core rule book to the advanced player's guide, and of course your character sheet. And the entire game goes like boom, to boom, to boom, to boom, to boom, 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 boom. You never go back to this thing. And again, the story is only in your brain, and Bill's telling you that he is the real champion. But what if? Now stay with me here. What if, Charlie? Charlie, thanks. What if we created a single book specifically tailored for your character class? And what if it had an enormous character sheet to record every detail of your character? Every stat, every strength, weakness, magic item, enemy, ally, even your familiar. And then took all the official Pathfinder rules, the spells, feats, and skills that you need for your class and your class only, and combined that with an expansive journal to capture your story. And obviously it's only useful if it's on heavy paper to handle the years of wear and tear, and bound on a lay-flat binding so you can use every inch of it. And of course, us being us, we add amazing artwork from across the Pathfinder universe, as well as our own custom pieces, commissioned specifically for this book. And that's why I'm here today, to introduce you to Beetle and Grimm's complete character chronicle. Character sheet, rulebook, journal, all in one. The tools to tell your story and the pages to preserve it. If my story had been included in one of these, I'm pretty sure that Beetle, the greatest dungeon delver ever, would have been the true hero of the group. Not Bodum, not Tanner, and definitely not Grimm. Because it all would have been written down, the incontestable truth. Or at least, a well-documented lie. Which is just as good. I'm Matthew Lillard, and we are Beetle and Grimm.
Hello, and welcome to Band of Badgers. My name's Joe, and I am going to be your DM for the evening. Thank you for joining us as we go through Tomb of Annihilation by Wizards of the Coast.
Thank you for having us, Joe.
You're more than welcome, David.
just remember the name. It's that easy.
I was going to call you Dave, and I was like, no, I'll just go for the full. Do you just get called David when you've been naughty?
Well, no, that's when my staff, like you, have been naughty. They say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Won't do it again, sir. I won't smoke crack outside the warehouse, sir.
I thought we were playing a fantasy game, not playing out some fantasy fantasy of it work.
Yeah, I didn't consent to this.
If I had a red X card, it'd be held up in the air by now.
I got a red X, look.
Anyway, say hello, lovely players of 2 penguins.
Hello, lovely players.
Hello, lovely players.
Hello. I think you should give a special shout out, personally.
Yeah, Lee,
3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, thank you so much for stepping in once again. Matt is unfortunately not feeling very well. He's convinced. He's told us it's not the Rona. So, but yeah, get well soon, mate. And yeah, thank you, Lee, for stepping in. once again.
It's my pleasure.
Apologies to your boyfriend for ripping you away from Red Dead.
Pew pew.
Yeah.
I can't be in Texas right now, so I got to be in pretend Texas on the internet.
That's it. So before I get into my normal intro, we're going to ask you, the viewers, if you could do a vote just in Twitch for us. And what we're going to get you to do is choose one of the 2 entrances that the players are going to be entering into the Forbidden City of Om. So a little bit of information about your choices. The northeast.
Put the picture up, Joe.
Yeah, if you can do, that'd be great.
Is it?
You should have it on Roll20 now, so you should be able to just go on.
It doesn't work like that in this world, but yeah.
Well,
So where's the first picture? Oh, there you go.
First entrance is here. It is a waterfall. So the river snakes down from the foothills and flushes into the city through the canyon. So that's the first entrance point into the Forbidden Sea.
Yep.
And then the other one is right in the opposite end, and it is the steps down here. It should have been moved, yeah?
It did, but it moved off the map.
Let's go a little bit closer then.
I will.
Is that better?
No, but I can't. I'm doing some magic this side.
All right, cool.
Let's have a look.
I'll let you. There we go.
Yeah.
So it's
Not
the
gonna work
waterfall
properly, but there we go.
or the steps. Is that
Or
correct?
steps.
Waterfall or the steps?
Yeah. So waterfall steps. So
Right. So what's going to happen then is in a moment it's going to pop up in chat and you can vote in chat, so you don't have to type it in. You get a little poll will appear at the top of chat, and you can spend your channel points on voting as many times as you possible. So anyone that wants to go with steps and has a lot of channel points like I do, just keep voting.
Yeah. Nice. You trying to rig the vote, Steve? Is that what you're
There's no evidence of that.
Yeah. This will be thrown out.
Yeah, stop the count.
No. Trauma.
Lee, run.
I can't take that.
Let's thank my beautiful DM for this wonderful news.
So yeah, once that vote comes up, if you just pick what your preferred way that you'd like the players to enter into Om, that would be great, and we can look at that once we've finished the full intro. So yeah, also a big welcome to Sean.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Sean. Good to see you
Sean.
again.
Yeah, joining us from the future. That is Australia. It's early morning for him at the minute, so thank you so much for waking up early and joining us for some D&D.
You're welcome. As we say here, it's the Cracker Sparrow fart.
At the halftime break, we're going to be asking him some questions about his player shield that he's got. You got a copy of it there? Nice.
I'm literally using it today.
Yeah, Dave's got a copy as well. I think there's images for it that are going to be going on the carousel below me as well.
No,
I'm also using my. This isn't made by me, but
Okay.
I'm using a handy dandy dice tower that hangs on my screen.
Nice. Is that made by TT Combat?
No, it's made by Shrine Company actually.
Okay.
Glowcraft Australia. They're really cool. They do some amazing stuff that I need all of it.
Nice.
So many things I need and not enough money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, a big thank you to our sponsors, Beadling Grim and Gale Force 9. Yeah,
What do they do, Joe?
everything, all the things. They've got Kickstarter open, going at the minute.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Where would people be able to find that information about Beadle and Grimm's Kickstarter, Joe? Is it in the box below you?
Yes, but the
He's in the
Nightbot
box
should have
below us.
also. Jesus Christ, should have blinked up. There you go. Look, it's in chat as well.
Nightbot is under voice
Nightbot is
control.
all over it.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Just
A mess.
a mess.
You know.
No, I know Steve's on it. That's it. I just like I've got faith in him. So as soon as I say the words like Beadle and Grim, I know he's instantly going to be there, just like putting it in chat. So
Spider trying to grab me.
I've got faith in you, Steve, even if Dave hasn't.
Oh, in Steve I trust. In Joe, you know.
Yeah, fair play. So,
You can kill me later. Let's go.
yeah. I'd plan on it. It's fine. Also, we've got a number of sponsors and other discounts that we can get for you that should be scrolling below us right now. Let's have a look there. Go check out our other discounts that we've organised for you through Band of Badgers. Also, remember to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe here as well if you haven't already done so. Doing that will help us provide you with the amazing content that you see before you right now. So let's go get some shout outs. Well, who we got in chat? Let's see. We've got Chat Hunter's already here. Hey, Gamma was taken. Where was Gamma taken? Who knows? Karloff, Barda as well. So, mate, Dave and I've got Hal. Yeah, lots of sexy people in chat. Oh, yeah, standard.
Okay, so just quietly there for you, Joe. You do also
That's
now have Band of Badgers for my Etsy store.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very
You
much.
just gave me the idea. I was like, I should probably do something special for these guys.
Nice, thank you.
What's the
Next time we can promote it.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we've got a link to your Etsy on Nightbot.
It's,
Yeah, there we go. Nice. So yeah, head over there and have a look at that as well. There you go. Look, use Band of Badgers for 20% off. Perfect.
do you know what? I'm
Cheers,
going to go and
Sean.
use
Thank
that
you.
now. So
Yeah.
your
Oh, good
player
timing,
screen
'cause there's
is,
not many
is
left.
awesome.
This player screen is highly recommended. Sean sent me a copy a few weeks ago. We're still going to do a product review. We're going to get do like an interview Q&A with Sean and a product review at some point, hopefully before Christmas if we can. Sean is in Australia and we're in the UK, so it's the time difference we've got to work out. But it is fantastic. It's incredibly helpful, and it's great. But we'll talk about it more at the break.
After we've rolled some dice.
Can you spin it like those guys outside the places?
Here we go.
No is the answer to that.
Okay.
Blink.
I'm gonna hand over to Cork to give a summary of the previous session.
Go Cork.
As is tradition.
This is the scene from Frozen 2, which I absolutely love. What we need to do is clip this on Twitch and have it as like favourite clips. These are the recaps. and just have the little snowman from Frozen 2.
What we need to do is clip the audio and play it over the top of Olaf.
Yeah. We should try that.
Cork Diary, Day 3.
It's already 3 days.
I'm putting myself on mute.
I mean, it's better with unmute.
We went to Magical Frog Temple. It was covered in slime. Covered in undead, too. Big, giant, weird monkey undead. We bashed the monkey. It dead. We killed all the undead. Frogs were very, very, very grateful. Turns out, it was little gnome friend's home, or his parents' home. They knew his mum. Something about birthing pools. They gave him a box. Little friend's disappeared at the moment, trying to open the box. Don't know why. We then went to big heart-shaped rock. It had a lady inside. She teleported us up and told a wonderful story of different animals. Cork remembers nothing of the detail, just the animals. We had turtle friend as well called Mars. Or was it Lars? Cork will say Mars. He was so cool. Reminded me of a tale of 4 teenage mutant something turtles. He was awesome. We gave arm wrestle with him. I won his ring. It's so cool. It's so cool. Cork is engaged now. Anyway, next adventure.
Thank you. Well done.
That was... I forgot I was doing this.
I just kind of spring on you last second. So looking at the votes, it seems like a landslide or a water slide.
Excuse me. Oh, yeah, you want to start, don't you? Right, I'm going to have to just spend about 1,500 votes, and then we're good.
Too late.
Yeah.
It's the waterfall, and the audience have spoken.
Yes. So, the waterfall. So you've been travelling from the heart of Ubuntu, of Teo even, for 20 days, give or take, through dense jungle, and it's been a rough slog. The weather is once again changeable from hour to hour, and it's been a grueling time. You know how you've spent so long with each other now that you're picking up on little things that are sort of irritating about other things, but you're still, once you get through and the jungle parts, all of that's sort of forgotten, and your thoughts of treasure and riches, looking at this old dead city, just thinking about what could lie within it, negates all those previous niggling thoughts.
I don't think that annoys Cork. Obo keeps picking his nose. He wiped it on Cork's maul.
So yeah, so the Dead Sea is enclosed by sheer cliffs, ruined buildings, and stone boulevards rise like ghosts from the floor of a misty basin, and colourful birds glide around overhead. A waterfall that you're standing next to pours into the basin, creating a swollen river that floods much of the city before draining into a deep rift filled with molten lava. A ruined palace lies a few hundred feet from the edge of a steaming abyss. Vine-draped gargoyles perch intermittently on buildings and staring down at the ruined sea. Their faces have that of devils, with the mouths agape in a silent scream. As colourful birds glide past the gargoyles, they are plucked out from the sky and stuffed into their foul mouths. Now, that's what all of you can see, apart from Dave. Dave's character, however, sees a city, a magnificent city, whitewashed buildings stretching out before him. Sunlight sparkles off of glass domes and windows, and yet all is not well. Black smoke coils from fires across the city, and corpses litter the streets, and rave in circles like rooftop vultures. A sphere of utter darkness grows out from the heart of the city, and blotting out the sun as it expands towards you. When you turn away and look back, darkness is gone, and the city is once again just an overgrown ruin.
Well, did anyone else see that? I started running away when that black thing was coming towards us. Like,
Black thing?
no, you didn't see that. You didn't see like all the wraiths. There were those ghosts flying around and all the bodies and stuff.
It's just an empty place. It's rude.
Was that like a trick of the light?
Cork was
Probably a
watching
trick
birds.
No, they weren't birds. They were like wraiths. They're like ghosts. Ghosts and things like flying around in circles.
Nah.
No, but now I'm questioning why I've stuck with you guys for so long.
Well, it's kind of like, I guess we're all going in the same direction, but, you know, there's definitely some dead things over there. Oh my gosh. You know, do I see dead people?
It does, in fact, seem like it.
Have I, like, gained a level in, like, supernatural abilities? Have I been wandering in the jungles for too long?
Did you get into the slimes?
Did I eat some wrong kind of mushrooms?
Did you lick a frog?
No, I didn't go nowhere near them. That definitely wasn't me, man.
Are you producing your own slime, potentially?
Well, that's a good thing, you know. I think my hay fever's been acting up. I've been doing this quite a lot, you know. I don't really have the same kind of nostrils as you, though. I might just have, like, holes. So when it gets bunged up, it just have to come out. I just wipe it, but, you know. Cook's been pretty grand, like.
I'm going to just move away from Obo a little bit.
Anyone got a hanky?
No.
I'm sure Cork's got something, or Seamus has got that cloak of many things.
That's right. Is there something useful in there?
Yes.
Seamus wandered off a while ago. Wanted to try and open box.
Didn't we get some ladders? Didn't we get some ladders? Do we need to go down the waterfall? Are we going over the waterfall? Did we get a boat?
Yeah,
Did we get a boat?
all those things would have been handy. They would have all been handy. Yeah, boats. You had ladders. You had loads of rope.
So what if we tie somehow tie the ladders to the boat, and then I can sit in the boat and you hold on to the ladders, and then we just go over the waterfall.
Problem is, Seamus isn't here to give you those things.
Oh my gosh, Seamus has disappeared. Like, where does he go? He's just disappeared.
Could we? We do have rope though. Could we?
How far down is it?
Yeah,
So
maybe like zip line down.
So it's a 50-foot drop.
But
Okay.
if we shoot to one of the buildings, could we zip line that way? Do we have enough rope?
Down the waterfall, can I see any ledges or anything?
It's as you would expect off the side of the waterfall. There's lots of rushing water. There would be ledges, but they look to be precarious, shall we say?
I know. I just remember something else as well. Didn't we get like the brooch? There was a feather brooch. Who got that?
Everfall.
Who got that?
Cork
Come
thought
on,
you.
own up. Who got it?
Cork thought you got it.
Did I get it?
Cork thought you did.
Did I get it? So if I
Well-
just like step off the edge, have I got it? Like, DM, do I actually have it?
Yeah. I thought I think I gave it to Sarkis or you.
Obo has the feather of featherfall, yes.
Then I'm just gonna run off the edge of the cliff next to the waterfall and go, whee!
Did you want to?
It needs magic words.
Yeah, before you do that. Before you do that, did you want to read what Featherfall spell actually gives you?
It's
It's not
not.
what you think.
Bye, Obo.
Because I believe it is a you can do it to a party of people,
Oh,
not just yourself.
I've gone. Everyone hold hands like.
Hang on. I'm going to try and quickly calculate in my head how fast is he travelling. And if I weigh in more than him, will I be able to jump onto him?
It says up 5 creatures.
We got it. We can do this, providing I quickly javelin Obo back to us with rope.
So I'm off. I've jumped.
Yeah. So I imagine you've leapt off the edge.
Like...
What the rest of you are up to?
I'm going to
Hello, jump.
tie a rope around my waist and misty step onto Obo,
Go.
chucking the end of the rope to Cork. Catch!
Hey, they suck us like, yeah.
Why am I catching
How
this
you
one?
doing?
Possibly go wrong.
So yeah, it's a reactionary. Featherfall is a reactionary spell, and you can slow the rate of your descent to 60 foot per round until the spell ends.
Okay. So I'll do that so we land safely.
Yeah. Okay, so you will land, but you will land in the water, the rushing water at the bottom.
That's okay. I'm a
Okay.
turtle. Like, Sarkis, can you swim, lad?
We're about to find out.
Okay,
Right.
I'm just going to
So,
aim for the splashdown. Here we go.
Cork
Yeah,
will
as you-
grab the rope that stuck us through.
So at the moment, we've got
30 foot. Yeah.
Sarkis holding on to Obo, Obo slowly falling. They're both effectively attached by a 50-foot rope. The drop is 100 feet. 60
50
feet.
foot.
It is
50.
50 foot. Okay. And Cork is at the top with myself and Jessica holding to the other end of the rope.
I've got more of an image of Sarkis riding him like a surfboard.
This is
Yeah,
Doctor
that's
Strange
what I
stuff.
had
Yeah.
in my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
The image I've got is: has anybody seen the front cover for the Terry Pratchett book, The Light Fantastic? Where they're all riding the luggage through the air in different ways and just holding on for dear life. That's what I'm imagining we're about to do with Obo.
So yeah, you both hit the water at the bottom of the waterfall, and you go down into the water, and it's around. You can, when you hit the bottom or hit the go underneath, you can see that it's about 30 to 40 foot deep pool underneath the waterfall.
Okay, and I'll pull my... So on as I impact, my head and my limbs will go in my shell. And then once I'm underwater, I will emerge and then swim back to the top.
Using my elven grace, I'm going to athletically dive into the water. Or splash into the water.
Yeah, so it does this. The water's obviously churning up and going everywhere. What's that all for? Just rolling for the.
Yeah.
And there is a bank to your right, which you can quite easily swim to, and
I'll go get some money out.
yeah. And so yeah, you've now obviously got a rope leading from the top of said waterfall to the riverbank.
All right.
So what am I? So why am
I'll
I?
try and find
I'm
someone to
holding
tie
on
onto.
this. Okay. So I'm holding onto this rope, and we're creating a zip line. I'm guessing.
We've only got 50 foot, so it's kind of tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a reverse swing, Cork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna work.
I'll try and find something suitably sturdy.
It's not.
to tie
But the
rope
whole
to.
thing is like 50. Like by the time you get to the bottom, the rope has ended. So it's just
Yeah,
like
I'd say that it's either very taut or has come out of one of your hands, whichever end you. But
Cork will probably have let go, realizing that the rope will probably kill Sarkis just by whiplash.
I just watched the rope fall down again. Great plan.
Thought about this, didn't work. Next plan. Well,
In-
I turn around to Asriel and Jessica and be like, bomb?
Is I swim on my back. It's like total punt on that. It's nice down here. It's okay. You can probably jump and you can probably survive.
How
Oh,
deep is the
Bomb.
water?
Joe,
Probably.
Well,
cork
it's at least 40 feet, like.
At
Cork
least.
bomb.
Yeah. As long as
Cool.
Cork doesn't jump, you'll be fine.
Cork bombs.
So if you're jumping from
Knees up.
Oh, shite. That's not badly even quicker.
Can you make a dex saving throw, please, of a DC 10?
Is this technically a threat I see? I can see, but I can't do anything about it, to be fair. Right.
So, what are you going to say to him before he jumps?
Natural.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice. So you've got this. So
It's
yeah,
Cork
Cork can do like a
finishing move.
double pike.
Cork bomb.
There's trees up here, right?
Up the top there are, yeah, where you are currently.
All right. I'm gonna tie off to one of the trees. I'm gonna try to, with my rope, descend the cliffside, so that I
Okay.
have a much higher chance of surviving when I inevitably slip and fall in the water.
Yeah, okay. I'll take another deck save from yourself, but it'll be a lot lower due to your assistance from your rope.
All
So
right. Where is the dex?
5.
And that's with advantage?
No, I just lowered the deck save, so
16.
yeah, so you're fine. You're also in the water at the bottom, so you can shimmy down as far as you think it's safe to sort of leap from.
Okay.
And then do so.
And then I will do so and gracefully dive into the water.
So all that's left standing up top alone is Azrael.
But the
I'm
rope
just
is
gonna
still
swan
there.
dive. I'm going to swan dive at the top.
He's a cat. Cats don't like water, do they?
Yeah.
There'll be no bombing. There'll be no
Maybe
diving
he'll
off
land on
and
his feet.
cheating. I'm just gonna go for it. Lara Croft style, straight from the top.
Doesn't he have 9 lives anyway?
Before I do that, I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Yeah.
Where the hell on this character sheet is saving throws?
Just on your left-hand side,
Yeah.
next to your stats, just click on the frame thing.
Yeah. Top left.
So yeah, you got your acrobatics, and then just above it you've got strength dex. It's
Come
below
on.
proficiency bonus.
That was a
Nailed it.
natural 20.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
we'll have some double tuck and finish with a pike, and I'll smile on the way in.
Your waterfall means shit.
Yeah.
Then I start to panic because I realise I can't swim. But it looked good on the way down.
I can dish him out.
So yeah, as you all pull yourself up and onto the bank, you notice that to your left there's a large shrine, and there's a crocodile sort of surrounding the shrine, but there's a large bird-like ibis with a needle-like beak that's sort of facing you as you look towards it.
Oh, a bin chicken.
Yeah, bin chicken. I saw one of them walk into a shop once in Australia.
Yeah, the park down the street's full of them.
Yeah. It's got a slimy, moss-covered archway that sort of faces you. It's a shrine to, if you recall back to the story, it's a Papsalotl.
Can you write that out?
Again?
Yeah, Steve told you this. I put a handout in the compendium in your journal with the Legends of the Nine Gods. So if you need to refer back to that at any point, you can do so.
So what was the shrine to? Did you say sorry?
Papa Zotl.
Yeah, that's the
Oh
one.
yeah, Bliss. Yeah, okay.
Papa Shango, got it.
Papa
Yeah.
Zotl.
You can also see a couple other shrines that are dedicated to other of the 9 gods, the trickster gods around the city itself as well. There's another one further into town, around here.
I'll go over and check out the shrine to Papa Zotl first.
Yeah, sure. So as you swim up, because obviously you're going to need to swim across in because it's flooded, as you can see.
Mhm.
And as you do so, you notice that there's quite a few dead bodies in the water floating around the outside of the shrine.
Are they newly dead?
They look to be sort of mercenary types, and you would assume that they've not long been dead. Yeah. You can do a medicine check if you want some further information.
Okay, I'll have a go at that. So that's a nat 1. They're actually alive. They're fine. They're just having
Dr. Azrael's fine.
Sleep.
Just a little rough.
It's an elaborate Papa Zotl ritual where everybody has to hold their breath for as long as possible.
It's just a mere flesh wound.
The insides are on the outsides. Is that normal?
Yes,
No,
that's definitely
I've never
that's
seen
part of the
anything
decoration.
alive.
It's Papa Zotl regalia, that one.
So, who's that got the?
It's me.
Yeah. So
Jessica.
you investigate them further, and you notice that they have underneath their tunics and whatnot, they have lots of burn marks and scorches. Looks to be from fire and general. There's bits of stone and small chunks of marble and things embedded into their skin as well.
So, Azrael, this one looks pretty charred. I don't think it's makeup.
No.
I think they're
No.
dead. I think you need to check your stethoscope because they look dead, and I'd kick it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with your assessment, Dr. Azrael.
I'll have to admit something that my studies into Dale have been a bit remiss on the old beneficence front. They're more leaning towards the arcane studies rather than medical studies. So yes, again, if you have some training in medicine, then I'm quite happy to stand aside and allow you to proceed there.
Oh, no, I just know what rocks are. And they're not supposed to be part of bodies. And generally, skin isn't barbecued when it's healthy. That's just where I'm basing it off of.
Anyway, moving on. They may be dead. I'll admit that. The building that we're in, is it this pagoda one with a fence around the outside?
Yes, the one that's in the centre of the body of water.
Oh, no.
I'll continue past the live/dead bodies and go inside, please.
Yeah, so as you climb up the steps, they are all slimy and moss covered as well. And you see inside the scene of just utter carnage and destruction. There's dead bodies and undone traps and collapsed walls. And then you come into the middle of this open area, just like a sort of shrine room, and there's a collapsed wall at the back of the shrine with a man that still looks to be moving and alive.
Hey, Azrael, this one's alive.
This one.
He's standing up and he's walking around on his feet like.
Oh, he's not walking around. He's got like rocks and whatnot covering the half of his legs. And stuff.
Oh, so this one's partially crushed, but he's alive.
Quickly, Dr. Azrael, what's your thoughts?
Like
It's just a scratch. Yeah, I think you can probably walk it off.
Studied at the School of Zoidberg.
Yeah. I'm not a life cleric.
So
Do not expect me to save you.
Sure. Do you want to explain to them what they see, what your character looks like?
Yeah. Okay. So how close are they to me?
They're in the same room as you. They're probably
All right. Cool.
5-10 foot away.
So in this case, I probably would have heard what they just said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for first thing, like, hey, don't kick me.
Oh shit! He is alive. Like. Oh. Sorry, man.
So
He's definitely lost the hold your breath competition.
yeah, you can see a very dirty man, obviously, because he's covered in rocks, and he's got like a white, rough hewn shirt on, with like some leather straps, probably presumably holding up his trousers. His hair looks like it would normally be quite nicely brushed, but it's all stuck to his face with blood and mud and whatnot. And he's got a leather cuff around one arm and a curved, sort of odd-looking curved sword scattered on the ground off to one side. It's fallen out of his scabbard.
Let's try not to kill this one just yet.
I didn't kill the others.
No, but we're just gonna keep this one alive
I
for
agree.
the time
Is
being.
one friend of yours as well?
No, you're the only friends I have here.
We don't have to piece this one back together.
We don't know. Maybe it's a new friend.
We
Yeah,
may have to get him out from these rocks,
if you
though,
can
Cork.
avoid killing me and avoid having to piece me back together, I would appreciate that. I'd appreciate that a lot.
So,
It's
Cork-
Make a
Cork-
Friend Day
Cork-
here in the Temple of Papa Zottel.
Cork, I think you should start lifting off some of these rocks.
Okay. Cork will
I'll
walk
lend
up.
I'll lend Cork a hand.
Shall we?
Much obliged.
Right. So before Cork just goes hands in and just tears things up, Cork will actually just observe the situation and make sure he's not going to hurt it and make sure there's like how this happened. How rocks fall?
Well, I
Well,
mean,
they went
I
up
just
there,
kind of
they
woke
fell
up
away.
here, so I assume I came from up there.
Oh,
Okay.
that sounds familiar. Let's hope this isn't as heartwarming as the last time this happened.
Last time people came from above, they didn't stop. They kept going down. And then splash. Okay.
Well,
Since,
Cork,
since,
I'm
since
already
Cork
on the
seems to be a
ground.
little bit cautious, can I do a investigation around the area to make sure there's no other traps, or is this just an old temple where the ceiling is collapsing?
Yeah, you're welcome to do a check for any further traps or the sturdiness of the rubble.
Would this just be a perception or a survival?
I've done the investigation check,
Yeah.
Alright.
and my score was a 16 in total.
So yeah, you would be able to look at all of the rocks and see that it's just a collapsed wall that's sort of pinning him down, and that there wouldn't be any further, or you don't believe that if you were to move this thing that's pinning this gentleman down, that it would cause any further cave-ins or whatnot.
Cork lift rocks.
And I'll give you a hand, Cork. It's pretty safe. We should be
Alright.
okay clearing this area.
Cork lift rock.
I will also help lift rock.
Yeah. So if you want to roll with advantage on your strength check.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So, buddy, what's your name like?
Oh,
I'll give you
yeah,
some water.
okay.
I'll give you some water and I'll hold up your head so you can drink it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, my name's Rek. Rek
Hi, Rek.
Carnell.
I'm Obo.
Nice.
The big one's Cork.
Nice
How
to meet
loudly-
you.
I'm
To meet you,
Azrael.
Obo and Cork, was it?
Mm, don't be too friendly just yet.
Yeah. So Cork goes to lift up the rocks that are pinning you down, and it just doesn't seem to budge. He isn't able
Gen-
to.
Gentle big fella.
My highest roll
Easy.
there was a totaled 8.
Yeah, I mean, you could if you've got something that you can kind of like jam in and jimmy it.
I have
you
my
might be able to-
spear. I can try and lever with the not pointy end.
Yeah.
Gonna specify that.
I've got javelins as well.
Yeah.
So we could just point all these pointy, sharp things at his leg.
No. The other side. This there.
Yeah, I'd say that if you did so and you were able to leverage it up, and he'll be able to clamber out from inside.
It's okay. Like you try and do that, and I'll help it. I'll pull him out. I'll sort of get behind him and put my arms under his armpits and get ready to pull him.
Strong lady.
So as he does so, he almost pops out and is standing before you now. So,
Well, I just dragged him out and then stood him up. That was like really good. What? I didn't know I was that strong.
You're a big fella, ain't you?
For a total, yeah, I'm one. Not exactly. My cousin is big. He's really big, but he goes to the gym quite a lot.
Rex just gonna like gently tap on the shell. It's like, I ain't never seen one of you before. This is wow. Okay.
Well, we're quite common around here. Like, I'm a turtle. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for the assist there, buddy.
No, yeah, no problem.
And you two, the rest of you, thank you for getting me out of there. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'm Jessica.
Nice to meet you,
I'm
Jessica.
Azrael.
You too, Azrael. Thank you.
What are you doing here?
Well, I like to explore, and I'm what you might call a freelancer.
So were you with the rest of these lot that are now expired freelancers?
What do the others look like?
yeah. So are you asking the party or me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. So yeah, they would be part of the troop that you was.
Yeah, I thought so, but I just want to double check in case it was someone that maybe we killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was with these guys, but obviously, kind of. Well, you could say I'm available.
Okay. So have you got a map or you treasure raiding or just exploring?
Well, I was, okay, so I'm what you might call a jack of all trades. In this case, I was hired to be a bit of a translator.
Oh,
And,
that's like me, Rick. I'm a jack of all trades too, but I'm a guide.
And yeah, sometimes I'm a guide, sometimes I'm an explorer. In this case, I was a translator, and now that I'm in a little bit less pain, my head is starting to clear. I distinctly remember that my former bosses, well, they left me here and ran away. So I don't know if they did this, but they certainly didn't stop this. And they left me here to die.
Why they run? What they run from?
Well, I guess because they're rat bastards and they don't care about anyone but themselves.
That seems reasonable.
We not rat bastards. We group of friends.
Well,
We
nice to
can't run
meet
away
you,
from
friends.
each other yet. Although we did leave one person behind, but ignore that.
Where did Seamus go?
Oh, I thought he was talking about Jimmy.
Jimmy!
I'm still a little tender here, so can someone pass me my sword there? I don't think I can really bend right now.
I'll pick the sword up and hand it over.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Mighty
I
kind
can
of you.
take a look at those wounds if you like, and then
Well,
Jessica can have a second opinion.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Is he injured at all, DM?
Yeah,
You're going to make me roll.
This is going to be the bit where he goes, this man is medically dead.
Yeah.
He has this red liquid running out of him quite fast, but he's okay.
Get the legion quickly.
Yeah, minor sort of superficial wounds would be.
It's 23.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, friends. So, what is it that you all are doing here?
Well, I think Seamus was leading us here, but Seamus disappeared.
Well, that's no good. I mean, but what was he leading you here for?
It's a bit of a long and confusing story, really. Obo and myself, we got picked up by these three, not Jessica, but Seamus, who's disappeared off into the jungle to try and soul search over a puzzle box that his mother left him 20 odd years ago. But Sarkis and Cork here, we all met in Port Nezero, and myself and Obo were hired on as local guides and experts in the local culture, and we set off into the jungle at the behest of some mysterious person to try and figure out this death curse. You know, people are having trouble coming back from the dead.
Oh, okay. So, do you suppose this might have anything to do with the dudes in red?
The dudes in. We haven't seen anyone in red.
No, I haven't seen anyone in red.
Okay, well, I can tell you there's the guys that hired me are looking for some stuff, and I have a feeling that maybe you guys might be looking for the same things.
Okay.
We like looking for stuff.
Yeah, we've been very good at finding things.
Just not what we was looking for.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, but maybe we will one day, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so well, I'm pretty handy in a scrap, and I'm pretty good at finding my way around. So why don't I accompany y'all for a little while?
Yeah, why not?
Let's
You should give us a
walk and talk, and
translator.
I'll tell you a little bit more about what's going on with me and these former employers of mine on the way.
Yeah, what were you hired to translate?
Well, just some general sort of texts and scripts and, you know, the occasional map or two, but also like runes, you know? They get me, they drag me around to all these old places and get me to translate the stuff they find on the walls.
What
But,
do you usually translate? Like, what language? What language?
Every language?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, most things, you know. Again, I'm a jack of all trades. I know a little bit about a lot. And tell you though, this one was weird. You know, there weren't. Well, it didn't seem like anything major, but they're looking for some puzzles. They got me
Any
helping them
specific
hunt down
puzzles?
some puzzles.
Puzzles like you mean like jigsaws?
Like cubey things, you know?
Oh no.
Puzzle boxes?
Yeah, something like that. You know, square, puzzly things.
Made out of wood?
I don't know yet. I haven't seen one yet.
If
Does it
only
sound like
Seamus were
Seamus?
here.
They meant to be where they meant to be.
In these, Trickster Shrines.
Oh.
This is a Trickster Shrine here. This is a Trickster Shrine to the name that I've forgotten.
Okay,
Pathfinder.
that, yep. Yeah, that makes sense. They said they already had a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something like what was it? What's that name? Ijin's Shrine, I think. Ijin. And
Ijin.
what was the other one? Pomplamoose, Paparazzi.
Papazotto.
Papazotl.
Yes, that's the one. That's
Talk
the
from
one.
his
story.
Papazotl.
Talk, remember story.
This is a shrine to Papazotl.
Oh,
we found you.
shoot. Okay. Yeah. No, I hadn't come across that part yet. You know, in the walls. So there you go.
Aegean is the Amirage.
Okay.
Obalaka is a Zorbo.
What's an Amirage?
An Amirage is it's a rabbit with a unicorn horn.
Okay.
It's like, you know what I was thinking is, you know when you see like a deer and it has a head like shaped like an arse? It's like one of those things. It's like a rabbit with a unicorn's horn. It's like a deer with a head like shaped like an arse.
Yeah, I've heard of them. You got to be careful. You know, them regular ass deer.
Ass deer.
The big ass there are the ones you need to watch out for, surely.
Yeah. I heard the legend. There's some real big ones, and you got to watch out when they clap those cheeks.
Oh.
Wow. So
Are the cheeks particularly thick? And that's why we're concerned?
Oh yeah, and also they're magic.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you see one of them big ones, watch out if it starts to shake, because you're gonna need to hit the deck.
Sounds like quite a lot of twerk.
Excellent.
so yes.
If that doesn't get inspiration, I'm gonna be annoyed.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Have some inspiration.
Thank you.
So yeah, you know that the shrine that you're at currently has had its sort of been ransacked already, and Record Connell can also point you towards the other shrine further down into the middle of the city that's also been ransacked by these red-robed individuals.
Can we work out what Trickster God the other shrine was to?
Yeah, I think he said it was to Ijin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other shrines local to where we are?
Yeah, so you can see another shrine here, and one to the so that's in the middle of the town, and then there's an additional one further out. So the one in the middle here looks to be for as it looks like a Wongo. So, which is it's a sort of the Sioux monster, so it's a large, like I've shared the
Large,
documents.
evil-looking chip with vicious grin.
Yeah, that's the one. So sorry, I was just trying to find the document. So yeah, he's just sitting on top of this tower. There's this effigy to him.
Okay, so from where we are now,
Yes.
due west of us, there's a large building with a red roof.
Mhm.
The temple is just the other side of that. Is
Yes,
that
that's correct. Yeah.
So the strip that's running north south, like between the red building and the one where the temple is that a wall?
No, that's a road.
Okay.
A raised road.
Yes. It's to stop the flooding.
Okay, so if you can only access the road by the stairs.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So if there's no stairs, it would be a wall.
Yeah.
So the shrine we're at now, we suspect has one of these puzzle boxes in them. Is that correct? Have I acted as Cork well enough.
You would assume that it had or has one in it.
But it has been raided.
Yes.
Right. So should we have a search? See if there is a puzzle box here. But then I think the easiest way to go would be to go due west to the next temple. Other than overcoming needing to climb the wall, but I can climb that, and then we get a rope down for the rest of you.
You know, just steer away from the lava for now.
Sure. I won't get you to roll for it, but in searching the chamber, you find, because Obo's got such a high passive perception, he can find a secret door to the side of the main temple room, and inside there is a tower plinth that has got an empty square where you would assume a box-shaped little sort of square box could have been residing, but is no longer there.
Ooh. Missed it. Okay.
So
Shall we go next, Ryan?
yeah, so if you're wanting to head to either 12 or we've got 18, which is down on the far side, you won't be able to sort of see too much of what's included there, but you can definitely tell that there is another shrine over in that area. It doesn't have any large, grand designs over the top of it for you to be able to work out which trickster god it relates to.
I'm up for going to the one that's closest, which would be straight west.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree.
Yes, so as you walk through the undergrowth here, you actually pass by a bazaar, which looks to be decrepit, and the ceiling has also fallen in. It's an old market, and frayed clothing and other wares sort of hang. There's like rotten food and whatnot on the floor.
Do the clothes look all right?
No, it all's just tattered and torn on the outside.
What might be at a bazaar? Is there soap? Cork will look for soap. Can Cork look for soap?
Cork can try and look for soap if you wish to do so.
Investigation or?
Yeah, could you first of all do a perception check for me?
Yeah. That is total 13.
Okay, so as you're about to step through the threshold, you actually spot a thin piece of wire going across the entrance to the bazaar itself.
Guys, stop. Stop.
I would like to use my new second level spell of Find Traps
Yeah, sure.
to find some traps.
Cool. So in doing so, you actually notice that there's 3 individual traps dotted around the front area of the bazaar, and they're easily undone, and they all have arrows just facing towards, coming out from hidden areas in the ground and rubble.
Oh, thank you. Cork didn't get shot at. That's nice.
Give it time, buddy. Give it time. Night's not over.
So yeah, you can go inside and search for various knickknacks. There would be anything that you would assume wouldn't decompose, or
Does soap decompose?
don't believe so. I think you'd probably be able to find a bar of soap. But yeah, anything that's of material or anything like that, it would have long
Cool.
since been.
Sorry.
I was saying it had long since been like picked apart by animals and birds and whatnot.
Cork will turn to Rek. Like, these traps your guys? Rek?
Sorry, I was learning how to roll for a second. I was watching you guys roll specific skills. So I was like, how do I do that?
Yeah, it's just on the left-hand side of the character sheet. Just click on it.
Makes sense. Because I could see like the general rolling, but I was like, oh, that looks like it's going to be way more efficient for Joe. I'd better learn how to do that real quick. Nope. I don't know. I didn't get this far with them. You know, like they left me back there. I didn't get this far in.
Okay. Cork has thought. If next temple is empty, because there's no red guys here, maybe they leave trap and they already raid next temple, so we go back and go other way around and try and catch them at some point by going, if they go one way, we go other and meet like clock.
How old do these traps look?
They don't look like, I don't know if you could date a trap, but I suppose they haven't decayed in the same way that all the rest of the surroundings in the bazaar have. Would be the best way to put it. So, yeah, there's you have a look in there. There's not much in the way of items left in there, and we can continue on to the actual shrine itself.
Yep. Now that you've tried to kill me.
Yeah. So as you walk up to the shrine, you see carvings of monkeys hanging their tails, decorating the outside of the obelisk that stands before the shrine, enclosed by broken walls. Past the obelisk is a courtyard filled with lilies and other ferns, and 5 archways open into the darkness at the base of the ruin. Mounted above the central arch is a stone plaque bearing an inscription that's been carved into the stone.
What does it say?
You don't know because you can't understand the writing. It seems to be in a dialect that you're not aware of.
Can I understand the writing?
You can.
There we go.
So yeah, this is Wongo's shrine. If you've got the information there, so I can read it out for you.
You'd say Mongo.
What Wongo?
Wongo. Okay.
Mongo, like in Blazing Saddles.
See, this is the bit where I turn around and say, I haven't seen that, just like you hadn't seen Mummy.
Candy going for Mongo. Candy going for Mongo.
Yeah. And what I will do is I'll put you guys on the map page now, so it should just load for you. And then I am gonna ping you across so that you can all let me know once you've loaded in, and I'll let you know where we are.
Because Joe has been kind enough to provide us with the story, which obviously mentioned each of the people in these shrines. The passage which mentions Wongo is Wongo the Sioux monster found out how Moa had betrayed him. He vowed to catch the Jackie and eat him up. There's a bit more before that, but I don't know how relevant it is. Sioux monsters. Cunning and wicked primates.
Oh, yeah.
This could be bad.
Yeah. So if you've all loaded in now, it should be able to see that you're standing in front. Yeah. So there's multiple entrances into this darkened shrine.
For the sake of, because obviously you've given us all the information about stuff. So for Sioux monsters, could we assume that they are within Sarkis's guide?
Yeah, you can do, and I've put a little bit of information in the creatures and monsters section about them. It may either be in there or in the player handout. So if one of you wanted to read about a Sioux monster,
Okay. Yeah. What I'll do is I can read out the Sioux monster passage. Joe, can you just fix the vision for one of the characters?
Done. It's already done.
Oh, perfect. So Sioux monsters are cunning, wicked primates. They inhabit forsaken wilderness, areas, and caves. Adults stand at 5 feet tall and have long prehensile tails. They can grasp tools, but they prefer to attack with clawed feet or just clawed feet. They can also project blasts of psionic energy that leave enemies stunned and unable to flee or defend themselves. Let's not piss these guys off.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that. Not at all.
Volvo's guide would have also told Sarkis that they sleep upside down, hanging from their tail.
Oh dear.
And they can attack from that position as well.
So, what I will ask you to do, if you can freely move your characters around, but if you can just do it in incremental steps, so that if you move from one area to another, if you can just let me know where you're going to be going, and I'll tell you what happens. Or if you want to check a certain place for traps or investigate a certain area, if you let me know what you're doing.
We'll immediately look for another line going between the two walls ahead of us.
Yeah, so you don't see anything between the two walls in front of you. There's no visual traps in front of you.
Cork will walk about 15 feet ahead. Just go, okay.
So as you walk between the two pillars, you actually get in your head you just get the sound of monkeys screeching and screaming, but as you go the other side of the pillars, it instantly stops again.
Guys, Cork may have goofed.
No.
Cork heard monkeys. Then as Cork walked over, monkeys stopped. Can Cork look up and see if because of Sarkis's information from Volvo's, can Cork look up and see if he could spot monkeys hanging upside down?
You only see the stone ones from the tops of the rafters. There's no visible live monkeys.
Okay.
But Sean, you are sort of close enough to read the inscription on the front of the statue.
Okay. Okay.
Inscription reads, "Do not pass line."
Hang on, I'm just finding the correct one. This is Wongo Shrine, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So everybody just be quiet, friendly like, and no angry moves, okay? Because this says it's better to be Wongo's friend than his enemy. So no aggressive moves. Seems like a good idea right now.
Told you guys it was make a friend day.
That's okay. I'm a very, very friendly guy, you know. So that's okay. Let's just get on with it then, shall we?
Right. So before we go in, on that basis that we need to be quiet, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on everyone. So that will give everybody a +10 to their stealth check. And I'm also going to tap old Corky on the shoulder, give him some words of encouragement and say, "You now have the blessing of Ubtail." and that means you have advantage on stealth checks for the next hour, as well as having a +10 bonus.
The bell wasn't ringing. You don't necessarily have to do that. Thank you, though. The bell doesn't ring at the moment.
I wake up every night screaming with the sound of that bell as pterosaurs fly around my head. So you're getting +10 and advantage every time.
I love the idea that we've gone through this entire journey since then, and every time Cork has like stepped, it's gone ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Yeah, pick a door, any door.
Okay. So, am I allowed to go fully left and right to peer down?
Yeah, so you can walk up to the entrance to the doors or the entrance ways rather than doors. They're not really doors. It's just
They
ways
seem
into
to be barred. The only one that's not barred is the middle one.
So they're not barred. They've got what you would assume to be a portcullis in the ceiling, so they are open.
Okay. But we can't see anything other than the first one.
The middle one doesn't have a portcullis. I don't know why it's. Let me see if I can fix the dynamic light.
To describe, if I go from, so the furthest left path is just around the building by the looks of it. So it's not something we necessarily need to worry about. And then from left to right, so the next one appears to go up and around into the central chamber. The next one seems to be just a short bit with a dead end and appears to have cobwebs in there. And then you've got the middle one, which we can see straight the way down. The next one is another short end one with what appears to be more cobwebs. And then the last one on the far side has cobwebs, but also goes up and around. Oh, they've all got cobwebs. Okay. Okay.
There we go. The portcullises have been removed now, so you should be able to just walk up there freely if you wish to do so.
Thank you. Okay. Cork will, with no weapons in his hands, and being as friendly as possible, and having hands just up like that, just being as peaceful as possible, will walk down the middle. Because this seems like a dumb idea.
So, as you walk into the middle of the room, or get visual on the middle of the room, a 10-foot tall stone statue of an evil-looking monkey balances on its tail atop the stone dials in the middle of a 20-foot high chamber. The statue's limbs are splayed with the hands and feet cut, and on the wall behind it, a sculpted relief shows a monkey-like creature tearing into a giant serpent. Inscriptions are carved above and below the relief, and 4 masks of painted stone protrude from the walls. They are depicted as the heads of a lion, a zebra, a boar, and a vulture. So, if you're able to see in the room, I'll allow you to sort of move up to the middle of the room here. So, in each of these areas here, you can see that each one's got a different animal's head on it.
Guys, this is a bit messy.
Everything we do is a bit messy.
I'm going to go up the left-hand side one.
So,
can I make a stealth check, please?
Yeah, you can roll for stealth if you wish to do so, but there's no reason for you to need to do so.
Okay.
Unless you're want to do anything particular. So, Steve, when you get to the end here, you notice that that there's a couple of slits in the wall that would allow you to look through into this chamber.
I'll climb up and take a look through.
Yeah, sure. So once you put your head into the mask, let me just double check. So you see through it. When you look in, you see a beam of light, and it seems to be falling from the ceiling onto the right hand of the statue in the middle of this square here.
Okay.
Sean, there is more writing in the middle of this room. I didn't actually send it to you, but I can let you know what it says.
Okay.
So there's above each of the masks, there's things written, and above the lion mask it says, "I ate one of the boar's friends."
Okay.
And so yeah, and then on the boar mask it says, "The vulture is lucky to be alive."
Okay.
And on the zebra, "My only friend starved to death." And then finally, on the vulture mask, "Through this mask, a character sees." One of the others has no friends. I read the sentence after it.
So
Okay.
zebra starved to death.
Yeah, "My only friend starved to death." The vulture is lucky to be alive on the boar mask. And then on the lion, "I ate one of the boar's friends." And the vulture, one of the others has no friends.
Cork puts his hands down.
So when I look through the mask, I can see a beam of light coming into the temple and shining down on the statue's right hand. Was that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so I'm going to come out of the one that I'm in, and I'm going to go into the next one along.
I was going to say, are we safe to walk around at the moment, Joe?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just writing all this in chat for you so you guys can refer to it if you need to.
There you
go. If anyone wants to do any inspection of the statue or the base of it or anything like that, or anywhere else in the room, they can certainly do so. So you sticking your head into that mask as well, Steve?
Yeah, I am.
On top of the... Oh, God, what have I done there? So when you put your head through this mask, you see a ray of light, of blue light, falling onto the left foot of the statue in front of you.
Okay. Right, so it was a white light on the right hand, and now a blue light on the left foot.
Who's good with riddles?
I'm thinking about it. I'm figuring about it.
The only additional bit of information we've got is Wongo, the Sioux monster, found out how Moa betrayed him. So in the passage before it, Ubtao, so this is from the story from the previous session, Ubtao asked the jungle animals where his water was hidden, and Moa, the Jaculi, was too honest to lie. When Wongo, the Sioux monster, found out how Moa had betrayed him, he vowed to catch the Jaculi and eat him. So I don't know if this will have any relevance to the current puzzle, only that it is a passage referring to this particular, to Wongo, the Sioux monster, who I assume is the big handless freak.
Yeah.
I hope freak doesn't offend them.
I'm gonna guess then that the unicorn rabbit was the boar's friend.
I don't know. I'm not sure who the boar is. So I just checked out the Jaculi, and the Jaculi's a dragon, a flying serpent. Yeah.
And there was a passage about the serpent, wasn't there?
Well, that's Moa. So Moa the Jaculi is who the Sioux monster went after. Wongo went after.
Okay, so yeah.
Definitely not a friend.
So I'll go along to the next one.
Yep. So that is actually the you when you look through this mask, you notice the light falling onto the right foot of the statue in the center, which is where the star is.
Okay, and what colour is the light?
It's blue. Again.
Okay, so blue on the left foot, blue on the right foot. And then I'll go to the final mask and do the same.
Sure. So you see a ray of white light falling onto the left hand of the statue in the center.
Okay. Right.
I rather sillily have not been making any notes.
I'll go to the central room now and tell everybody that information. That when you look through the mask, there is a ray of white light on the right hand, blue light on the left foot, blue light on the right foot, and white light on the left hand. Is there a window in here? That thing at the back, that there is that a window at all? Is that a stained glass window?
No, it's just a sort of stone plinth with nothing on it. It's the thing that everything's carved into on the back. So the where I was saying, where are we? 2 secs. It's the relief where the monkey-like creature is tearing into a giant serpent.
Okay.
With the inscriptions carved above it.
So if we're to look at the 4 statements, line I ate one of the boar's friends. The vulture says one of the others have no friends. So I'm assuming, I mean, I could be reading this wrong, that the lion has no friends. He ate one of the other's friends. No, he ate one of the boar's friends. So the boar had a friend. The zebra is dead, so he's the one that got eaten. Oh no, he's starved to death.
No, his only friend starved to death.
My only friend starved to death. None of them have friends alive.
Well, the bas relief that's carved into the stone is of Wongo versus Jakuli.
Jakuli's a serpent. In the previous shrine, there was a passage with a small little alcove for the box, and the box was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for us to investigate the room to see if we could find another alcove like that one?
I mean, I'm happy for you to do some more investigation in this room around the actual pillar itself. If you
That sounds like an invite, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that.
So yeah, if you want to roll for investigation checks, I can let you know what you find. Oh, I'm happy for you all to roll if you want to.
That's a 20, but not on that. It's a
dirty 20.
17?
Cool. So yeah, Azriel, you're raking away at the sort of leaves that have obviously blown in and gathered around the base of this tower, and you notice some more old Uman, is how you pronounce it, and that is basically states Wongo's friend knows where to pour the water.
Wongo's friend knows where to pour the water, so we need to work out who Wongo's friend is.
Okay.
I mean, one of the others has no friend. Is it like? My mind's just. My mind's literally doing what Cork does and just pictures animals. Just. So you saw both the hands were shaded white, weren't they? And the feet were shaded blue. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
On this side, the masks, are they of a lion, a boar, a zebra, and a vulture?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Okay, and the text that you've put in the chat appears above each of those masks.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Right.
And there were 4 slots, wasn't there?
So he's got his hands and his feet all up and cupped in this sort of way here.
So a mask could sit on each one of them.
The masks are part of the wall. You won't be able to remove.
We have to pour the water on one of them.
Where are we getting the water from? Like, is there something we're missing? From, or do we just...
You got water skins. You could try pouring water from your skins if you wanted.
Okay.
I think the zebra is the friend.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Which one is the zebra mask in?
Sorry, the zebra mask is in this one here.
Okay, so that one was pointing at the right foot.
Right foot. So let me just clarify something. We're about to pour water onto the right foot of a giant statue of a monkey, similar to Indiana Jones, and the one character inspired from Indiana Jones isn't bloody me. God damn it, Matt. I'm looking at you.
Okay, so, I mean, I have an idea that might work.
Okay. We're listening.
Okay, so somebody got a water skin? Because, I mean, I don't have one after getting stuck under those rocks.
Cork will hand you his water skin.
Okay, so you guys might want to get back in the corridor.
Okay.
Because this might work. It might not. And if it does work, we don't know what's going to happen.
We need to make sure we get you out as well.
Yeah, I'm coming too. I'm coming too.
Okay.
I'm just giving you a head start. And he proceeds to like grab one of his crossbow bolts out.
Oh, nice. I see what you're doing.
Pop it through the water skin. And then just sort of load that on top of the crossbow.
Didn't want to just put the water skin on the appendage and then shoot it.
No, he's going to shoot it past. So, because I'm not risking putting the water skin on the appendage and water coming out of it.
Fair.
I'm going to have it dripping, and I'm going to try to shoot it over the hand so it will pour water on it, or over the foot. So it will pour water on it as it goes over.
Let's do this.
Okay. So you're in some form or another distributing water onto the foot of the monkey statue. And
hang on, I'm gonna make sure that this happens, and I've got my arcane shot. And I'm going to use Seeking Arrow on that arrow to make sure that it passes directly over the foot.
We're pulling all kinds of shenanigans just to not get caught out.
Cool. So the arrow goes whizzing towards the statue, and the water lands on the foot of the monkey itself. And we will find out what happens after the break.
Oh, the suspense. The suspense.
Yeah. So I think did we have a short video of the DM shield that you was going to pop up? Or
no, we've got a Beadle and Grim Kickstarter advert, and that will give us a 3-minute break. So all the players and DM can go get some fresh drinks, some fresh snacks, go use the toilet, whatever you want to do. Don't disconnect. Who's disconnected? We've lost
Sarkis.
someone.
Sarkis.
Sarkis. Come back, Sarkis. You disconnected.
Oh, it looks like Sean's DMing now, so
All right, now you're screwed.
yeah.
I'm Jessica.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Sarkis again.
Yeah, there was no way I was putting
He's
my
back
hand
now,
anywhere
but
near
he's-
that thing.
It hasn't reverted our cameras.
Nice.
Right, so I have to
we'll
spend
sort this
my
out.
pee break fixing this. I think
But I'm
Darren's
doing
having
coffee.
problems now.
I think we're also gonna get. Should we do the giveaway when we come back? If you're needing the bio break.
Well, so here's the thing, right? We're gonna run the Beetle and Grim advert. Steve, if you chuck in the Kickstarter link into live chat, that gives us all 3 minutes. When we come back, I'll fix the cameras.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Okay. Right.
Catch you guys in
Check
3
this
minutes.
out.
Hi, my name is Matt.
I didn't do it.
It's frozen.
Oh
my god, that is grim.
That
Network
looks.
problem.
Yeah.
Surely an improvement.
See you in a minute, mate.
Got somebody saying, "Is there an audio issue?" I can't hear one, but I'm not got the stream on volume at the moment, so.
I cannot hear the stream. I can't hear the Beetle and Grim ad. Yeah.
No, our mics are coming out over the stream instead of the advert.
I think we have to see if we can get that working. But yeah, you didn't hear the advert. You should let us know before. We were busy. I think Nightbot was busy. So whatever you was chatting about was going over.
Oh no.
Joe, can't hear you. You're muted. Yes, I can see you chatting away.
There we go. Hello. Sorry about that.
It was a DM. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and sort out these cameras because everyone's in the wrong place. I think Gareth disconnected or turned his camera off or something. I'll blame Gareth. So I will set up the cameras. I'm assuming everyone in the audience, you can still hear us normal. Just let us know if you can. I will go and sort this out. So, over to you, Joe.
Yes. So, first of all, do we want to sort out the giveaway? Gareth's not got his headphones on, so he can't hear us. But he has offered.
We'll do that in a sec. We'll do it in a sec when Gareth's back on. Okay.
All right. Cool. So yeah, Sean, have you got your coffee now? It's Oh, I can't hear you either.
There we go.
Yeah,
I thought I'd already pressed that.
Yeah. So you fully coffeed up. Nice.
He's not the only one.
Can't say coffee. Tell us a little bit about your DM screen. Like, where did the idea first of all come from?
All right. Okay. So yeah, this screen is actually it's for players rather than DMs. And I ended up designing it because I have pretty hectic ADHD. My partner has autism and ADHD, and we have other players in our group with similar neurodiversities or anxiety issues and stuff like that, all of which cause memory problems and focus issues. And we tried using cheat sheets that I found on DM's Guild, but there's a very, very specific thing that comes with like autism and ADHD and stuff, which is object permanence issues. So if I can't see my cheat sheet, like it's under a player character sheet, or it's on the table over here beside me, I forget it's even there. Completely forget it's there. Don't remember to pick it up and look at it. And so we just found that they were getting lost, put aside, flipped over, and notes were being taken on the back, and that sort of thing. So I decided, why don't I have a look? There's DM screens. I'll Google it. I'll see if I can find a player screen, and I'll print that out. And there wasn't one. The only things I could find were people who had made cheat sheets that you stick on the back of your DM screen.
Yeah.
Which means if you've got a decent sized table, you're going to have players leaning over the table, trying to read the cheat sheets in the middle of the game. And I didn't like that idea. So I mocked up a concept and showed it to a couple of friends. They're like, what do you think of this? I'm like, I love it. And so I made a proper prototype, and we tried it out in one of our games, and it really, really helped. Because if I've got the information, like I've got mine in front of me here, vertical in my line of sight, that makes it way easier. And so I tried to use pretty neutral fonts as well. I'm actually also going to be making a proper just black and white on the inside, high contrast version for dyslexia soon. Just the last 12 months has been a whirlwind, and I have not had time to sit down and do that project. But I used like a dyslexic friendly font that doesn't have all the serifs and stuff on it.
Sure.
And I've got all the conditions alphabetized so that you can find them in a hurry if you need to look, and that sort of thing. So I made it for that reason. Like, I made it for new players as well as neurodiverse players, because we were new players. Right. I'd only just started playing, and we were also mostly neurodiverse and needed help, and we're getting over having to pull the player handbook out at the table to try to remember all of these things. So I made it for those reasons. But it's good for anyone who thinks like they might need a hand remembering stuff, or just so they can quick reference and help other players at the table and that sort of thing. And also, a table full of mimics looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got some photos from...
Sorry,
you go?
I was going to say, it kind of ties in with Tasha's Cauldron that's coming out soon with all the mimics.
Yeah, that's right. I've got photos back from a few, customers and stuff where they've got a table of 5 of them all facing the DM, and it's really, really neat to see. But yeah, that's why. Actually, yeah. Shout out to Smuggler's Coffee, by the way. That was in that last picture there. They are awesome, and they sent me some of their coffee when I sent them a couple of screens as well, and it's really good coffee. And I couldn't have gotten it done without the support of the community. Like when I started this project, I was like maybe 150 to 300-ish followers on Twitter. Nobody hadn't even done any live stream games or anything like that, so no one knew who I was. But thanks to some really wonderful support from the community at large, but also like surprising and immediate support from some key players in the community, like Christina Ariel, Dan Dillon, the Mountain Goats, all sharing it for me. At one point, I even had Vincent D'Onofrio share it.
Nice.
Because it turns out he's a big disability advocate and has dyslexia. I think he has dyslexia himself from what I've seen him talking about on Twitter.
Okay.
So he was like, hey, if this is supposed to be made to help people that do stuff, like, yeah, here you go. I'll share it. So
Nice.
that was I didn't expect him to even see the notification, but it was just really nice to get that overwhelming support, and then the project fully funded. That's just been a whirlwind since then. I've got 1,000 pieces made, and I have 100 left.
That's fantastic.
From January till now. And I closed international orders for like 4 months because of COVID.
Nice. So if someone wanted one, where would it just be via Etsy or?
Yeah. Well, actually, yes. If you want to buy it directly from me, Etsy is the place to go. But I do have a few distributors in 4 countries. Yeah, I have Tabletop Loot in the States. So if you want to get one from Tabletop Loot, and which means it will get to you quicker than from me, because it will take up to 4 weeks at the moment from Australia, which it's usually about 2 weeks to the States, but it can be between 2 and 4 right now. Just once it hits customs over there, it's taking a while. But no, I'm really surprised at how smooth shipping going into America is right now. To the UK, it's about the same, 3 to 4 weeks at the moment. In Canada, I have the Nerdy Chicken Store. And Game Kings in New Zealand. And then, too many Australian ones actually right now to name them all. But if you're in Australia and you want to grab one from me directly, you can just find them on Etsy. Also, for people who can't afford the full cost, there is a $2 Australian $2, so like $1 for England and America, PDF copy on DriveThruRPG.
Cool.
Where you can just print that out yourself.
I'll try and find the link for that and then post that as well.
I will find it for you because I know exactly where it is because it just links me straight there.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks incredible. All the information on the inside looks really just well presented and concise. It looks amazing. I having only just played D&D for the first time in the last 2 years, I look at that and go, I wanted that.
Yeah, I think everyone, like, it's something that all players could benefit from, whether you're new or old anyway.
Yeah, I've had some people that said they've been playing, and they play 5e now, but they've been playing since 2nd edition. And as soon as they saw it, they're like, yes, thank you, I'll have that.
Yeah.
No, it looks like both sides of it look incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It was a testament to determination too, because with ADHD, I tend to cycle projects. Like literally in this room, I have about 15 unfinished projects that I'm working on all at the same time, depending on what day. This I worked on almost completely by itself for 3 months solid to get this done, because once I got the feedback from the community about how many people like me felt like they needed it. I wanted to get it done as soon as possible. And it's the only project I've ever been able to willingly focus on like that.
So did you do all the designs on the front as well?
Yes,
yourself?
yes, I did. The whole lot is all my artwork and design.
Yeah, nice.
I tend to sort of go, like, I like collaborating with other artists and other writers and stuff like that on some projects, but for stuff that I am personally planning to sell, I like to try to do it from the ground up, for partially for quality control reasons, but also because, again, with ADHD and taxation and invoices and royalty rights and licensing and all that sort of stuff, that's a nightmare for me. So if I can do it myself, I will.
Yeah, fair enough. Totally understand that.
I got a lot of feedback and advice from the community again as well, though, about what they would like to see and, you know, where things should be arranged, what they thought was more useful and stuff like that. And it ended up working out really well.
If whenever a player or a new player starts, they get they might look at the books and they see all the books and all the information. It's just like, oh God, I have to learn all that. If you were to turn around to a player and just go, no, a bunch of character sheets done, and that'll take 10 minutes. Oomph.
Yeah, like this is kind of the basics
that's
you need to
exactly
know.
why I wanted to make it, because I've tried to make it so that it had pretty much everything that was the basic stuff that you need to get started. And then the DM can tell you, you know, you need to roll this dice to do the thing that you just asked to do. Yeah, once I've got all the things you can do on your turn, and someone go, all right, I want to do this one, and then the DM can tell them what to do. But I tried to have it to have as much information, to take as much extra weight off the DM for having, because I'm the DM for my group. And so, like, it's hard enough for me to remember the stuff that I need to remember, let alone the stuff for the players as well. So as a DM, having these on the table, I can just go, all right, you need to look at panel 1, panel 2, or panel 3 for the answer to that question.
Not only that, just
that's all I need to know.
Not only that, some games I imagine do secret roles for the players, and that's a perfect screen for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Actually, was a really big sticking point for a lot of old school players when I was making and designing this. They're like, oh yeah, but the players could hide their roles. Players can hide their roles. Players will cheat. Players will cheat. I'm like, it's this big. It is this big. It offers no more hiding of a role than what this does from as far away as players sit from the DM.
Yeah.
If you are worried about that, it's so small, and I deliberately chose to make the panels long and wide so that you could just reach over it and roll on the table. Or you can fold one side inwards a little bit and put your dice tray beside it so that the DM can see that you're not fudging rolls and stuff like that. So there's, for anyone who's worried about that, there is no worry about your players being able to hide their rolls. It is so small that you can just roll anywhere on the table around it.
Nice. I mean, I'm looking at it and thinking, like, it would be good if I want to try and get my kids involved as well, because that's the perfect thing for them.
Exactly. And you know, quiet shout out to my day job is when, before I was working with them, I actually was approaching them to try to get them to partner up for a stream, because using the Ardent Roleplay app on your phone, the screen is just the right size to hide your screen behind, because then other players can't see the information. If the DM sends you something that's just for a rogue, other people can't see past your player screen. So I've been itching to do a full live stream in person with the screens in the Arden app and get all kinds of cool footage with that. And then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
So Ryan, in shout out to Ryan from Session Zero Clothing, has asked a quick question here. It says, can you write on the screens?
You probably could, but they're not dry erase. I wanted to do dry erase, but that was significantly more expensive when you times it by 1,000. And for my first ever crowdfunding project, I didn't want to be asking for too much money.
Yeah.
But I am, since I've only got 100 of these left, I'm going to have to do another print run in 2021. I am looking at having that as part of the new print run, because obviously it's got the death saves and successes on it with the tick boxes there. So it would be nice to be able to do that. I mean, you could write on them in pencil and feasibly rub it off. I think I haven't tested that, I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it with a marker.
I have mine here. Let's test it. Dun, 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 dun,
He's
dun,
defacing your.
Dun, dun, dun.
Actually, no. A mechanical pencil does not work on it.
Oh, there you go. Interesting. It must be too fine-toothed.
It is, yeah. I don't have a. I've got a Sharpie, but we don't want to put that on it.
To answer 7-Eleven's comment there, you probably couldn't take it and get it laminated, to be honest, because it's very thick.
Yes.
And most laminating machines it wouldn't fit through. It's a proper screen as thick as the DM screen.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would fit through most laminating machines.
It's
She
bigger
works
than,
at a.
Go ahead.
She works at a print shop, so.
Oh, cool.
Which you can definitely try.
But you could give it a go.
Yeah. It's
But
definitely as thick
I
as
know
a
my
DM
local
shop.
print shop said they couldn't do it.
Would you later on, if second wave's really good and third wave's really good, would you consider building ones for other game systems like Pathfinder?
Yes.
That is actually something that I want to do. I don't like playing with you guys in January is going to be my first ever Pathfinder game. So
Yep.
I don't know the rules for Pathfinder. So that is something that I would like to look at doing when my time frees up a bit more. For now I've been sticking with D&D because it's what I play and what I know. And because I do so much work in other areas, not just in RPG stuff. That was like other systems was low on my priority list, but something I want to do long term.
There is definitely a market for it. I mean, this is very, very good, and I think if you had one, definitely for Pathfinder and Starfinder, but even things like Call of Cthulhu, just a very simple, small, doesn't take up too much space, of exactly as you've been saying, the basic stuff, the basic information that you need to know.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Even with my day job, we are partnered with Chaosium, and we've got some kind of a collaboration with Paizo in the works. Yeah. So that makes sense for me to also do that, because then that can also work with Ardent's stuff as well. And it is something for 2021/2022 that is on the list, is making a few of these for other systems. I'd actually like to do them for some indie systems as well, like Into the Motherlands, which is...
we also talked to Free League as well, so you got things like Forbidden Lands, because that's it's a D6 system, but
cool.
It will work. It will certainly be handy to have something like that as well, and also the portability of it being that small for players. You don't need a DM screen. You don't need like an A4 portrait one.
A few people I've sent these to actually use them for their DM screen instead of a big one. That's what I don't know if she still has them, but I got to give some to Deborah and Wall at Supernova last year, and she's like, "Oh, I don't use DM screens because they're too big, but I might actually start using one and use this instead." So shout out, thank you, Deborah, if you still have it. That's really cool, because she said she was very impressed, because obviously Deborah does disability advocacy stuff as well, which is why I reached out, because she was appearing at my local convention. So I was like, "Hey, I'm making this thing. Would you like a couple?" And I got the opportunity to go and speak to her and give her those. And so that was really nice that somebody who is as experienced a player as that, because this was still prototype stage. And this was before I did the final updates, like swapping the conditions over to the right, alphabetizing them, and adding in the dice diagram as well. Which obviously for, experienced and neurotypical players, that's not going to be such an issue. But I find that even a lot of experienced neurodiverse players will sometimes, in the heat of the moment, we can't access all the information and we'll forget which dice is which when we're instructed to roll a certain dice. So, we're scrambling to pick one up. So I thought, screw it, let's add it. It was actually my partner's idea. With their autism, they have a hard time remembering which dice is which by name. And so they suggested that we put either something to hold the dice on or a diagram or something like that. And I was like, that's a great idea. And so I did it up, and I used them as my sounding board for the design to make sure that it was clear and easy to understand at glance. And so you can just say, all right, you need to roll a d20, and that person can look down and go, oh, okay, it's the one shaped like this.
Yeah.
Unless you start getting into those fancy dice like Polyhero and whatnot that are not the normal shapes.
Cool. Yeah. So, did you want to ping up the Etsy one more time, just for everyone to? Oh, you've already done it.
Yeah, it's just there.
I'll post it again.
Okay. So Ryan's asked another question quickly. He says,
Yes.
have you thought of any variations if I was to order one from you but I didn't want the experience graph? Since I use a milestone leveling, could these options be swapped out?
Not really. Like, look, honestly, I've had a couple of people ask about that sort of thing and modular thing, and I've had a few experienced people that no longer use experience leveling talk about that and say, oh, that's no use to me. I do milestone and all that sort of thing. But look, a lot of people, when they first start out, especially neurodiverse people who don't want to try getting too fancy with it, are all going to start with experience points because that's what's in the book. Yeah. So that's what I put there. This is all, like, this is helpful for other people who have played before and all of that, but it is designed to be put in front of someone who has never played before or is neurodiverse and is sticking to the basic thing so they don't have to try to get confused.
Yeah.
So, and also, like, adding it so that things can be swapped out also, that starts getting expensive, and it also adds in the factor of it damages the aesthetics because the physical functionality to make that a thing that can happen means that it honestly can't look as good. Sure. It needs to have like plastic sleeves and stuff like that, and it's either if it's going to look as good, it's going to go 5 times the cost, or if it's going to be a comparable cost, it's not going to look as good. Yeah, so that's not really a thing that I can and am planning to do with it. But what I am planning to do with it, which is going to be part of next year's new print run, is clip-on editions that are smaller panels with the same approach of this is the basic information for the first stage of it for class and race. So it'll be like all of the things that a paladin has from level 1 that never change. All of this, the extra additions that you get as you level, you'll look that up in your own time. But all of the stuff that never changes, like a barbarian raging and how long it lasts for and stuff like that, you get extra benefits to your rage as you level up, but that basic thing never changes.
Yeah, just put level 1. This is your level 1.
Yeah, and so that'll be that, and then the basic things like orcs have this many extra points to their strength. You know, they have this many minuses to their intelligence. They have dark vision and that sort of stuff for the racial bonuses as well. All that stuff that you get to know at level 1 that never changes. And they'll have little clips of some sort that they can just clip on either end, and then you can swap them out depending on what you're playing when.
Nice.
I've started on some drafting, but I've had other projects since I started actually working with Arden. That's been a big job. We had a big international convention, Spiel, over in Essen. We were a virtual exhibitor there, and we had a lot of work to do for that. So all of my extraneous projects are only just starting to tick back up again now.
Could you pick a word that people can put into chat for the competition for Nightbot to pull?
Okay. All one word. Clap those cheeks.
So we
Oh,
just need to
God.
get Steve to set that up first of all, and then we can spin it up.
In answer to Ryan's question, yes, something about the racial bonuses and stuff has changed, which is
Yes.
why that project is a very slow burner right now, because I knew there were a lot of changes coming to all of that stuff at the moment.
I had heard for the racial bonuses, they're actually removing the negative modifiers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
For
something
example,
like
you
that,
mentioned
yeah.
Orcs.
Mhm.
Orcs have a -1 intelligence. I had heard that is obviously going to be gone.
Yes.
Oh,
No more minus.
So yeah, clap those cheeks. Exclamation mark, clap those cheeks. So Will, you need to retype that with an exclamation mark in front of it, and you can enter into the giveaway. Gareth, can you hear us? Take that as a no. No.
You're
We can't
muted,
hear you.
Gareth.
We can't hear you, Gareth. Right?
Hello.
Mhm.
Yeah. So could you give a quick, brief explanation of what the giveaway item is going to be?
Yeah, so this week we've got a token set of your choice. So what Gale Force 9 has done is we've produced class-related token sets, which Dave is going to wear in front of you. That's the Ranger one. So you get a really cool metal dice tin, which is embossed. Even a Dungeon Master gets his own cool one. Lovely Red Dungeons and Dragons. What you've got in there is all status effect tokens for your characters. So there's some generic ones, which are used for all players, but then there's also your racial specific ones in there as well.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, you also get a really handy sort of little laminated mini character sheet. So if you don't want to be scribbling on your lovely handcrafted and written DM screen sheet, you can fill in your details. It tells you what you're playing, dry white marker, default state as you're going through. So it's a nice little handy. There's also a space on the tin that you can put your character's name as well.
Cool.
Very
There's
cool.
one for every race on there.
And it's also handy as well for the character one, because it has your, even if you take them out the bag, you've got 2 slots inside the tin. That goes on one side. Your character sheet goes on top, which means you put your dice or your mini in here.
On the other side.
Yeah.
So really,
That's really cool. I can't believe I hadn't seen those until literally right now.
Yeah, they the first run sold out very, very quickly. The restock's now back in, so they are available directly through the GF9 store and all good retailers. I know that they are being stocked by 2 major distributors in Australia, which is Afterworks and Let's Play.
Oh, yeah, I know Let's Play. I've been trying to get them to pick up the screens.
The next screen is in transit to us, which is obviously Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Cool.
Nice.
There you go, Gareth. Is there anything you could do in terms of networking, getting Sean in with Let's Play?
Yeah,
get him an interview or something? Yeah,
Sean drops me. We'll chat afterwards and we'll swap contact details.
Sounds great.
There's a couple of good guys at Let's Play. I met them last year, so they're very keen on growing just community stuff in general. So
cool.
Yeah, that's great. 'Cause I think they weren't interested when I first started because it was a Kickstarter, but now that it's an established product and I've sold out a run, I think they might be more keen.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Works might be an interesting one for you to talk to because they are a Kickstarter distributor.
Oh, cool.
So obviously, they have their distribution network, so that might be a good route for you to hit other countries. So,
Did you say Aetherworks?
Aetherworks, yeah.
What? Hey.
Right, so Steve, did you want to pull the winner out of the hat?
Thank you to our beautiful model Dave there for showing us.
Yes. Yeah. Our very own Debbie McGee.
Sorry,
that's
on
like
mute.
me.
Right, there we go.
Not a lot.
And the winner is Go for IT.
IT.
Or go
Congratulations.
for it.
Go for it. Go for IT. Yep. If you just drop one of the mods a whisper with your email address and your name, and they'll get you in contact with Gareth and Galveston to get that sent over to you.
Yep,
Yeah, congratulations.
Full name and email address, and we'll forward that over to Gareth, and you can make your class choice.
Yes.
I recommend the Warlock. I mean, you know, it's your character, so look out. And also,
So-
you know, multiple characters of the same class, so you need more than one tin of the same one.
Right. So the arrow was whizzing through the air over the foot.
Just before you continue, which one did we aim for?
The
Oh,
foot,
right
I
foot.
believe.
The right foot.
The right foot was...
Zebra.
The zebra.
Right. I have a curious question about that. What was
It was your idea to go for the zebra.
It wasn't my idea. It was everyone's idea. We're a community. Everybody's to blame because the zebra's clue is my only friend starved to death.
Yeah. No, did that... Was
Yes.
I thought that was somebody else's clue.
Yeah, no, my only friend starved to death was the zebra.
But the zebra
Okay, well, he's
has
got no friends. He's got no friends.
We're after someone who has a
No.
friend.
Whoops.
There's only one that's alive.
Hey, actually, it was never confirmed whether the monkey ate the dragon. So, the dragon took the monkey for a ride in the air.
Oh my god.
So yeah, the arrow whizzes over the foot, and the water is deposited onto the upturned foot, and as it hits, just steam just starts. It's like billowing out of. Basically, the water starts evaporating, and you see 3 steam creatures appearing from the foot. And in a moment, I'm going to ask everyone to roll initiative, please.
Ah, crap.
Guys, they're made of steam.
Oh, hey. That's not bad, actually.
Give me 2 seconds. I just need to set up the.
They're made of steam, guys. I might not necessarily be very effective.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine, Corp. Just stand there and take a
So
hit.
it's added Azrael, but not the others. So if you could
you
each
need
shout
to-
out, you could each shout out what your initiative was, and I will get that added for you. Needs to be.
4.
Mine was 10, but it hasn't.
Yes,
Hasn't done
because I was still giving you a turn on the initiative tracker. I think
I
you
got 11.
right
But
there.
there you go. Yeah.
You got
I can see
11?
it in there. I got 11.
Okay, cool. And Cork, what did you get?
Oh, sorry, I need to roll. That is 12. Mine's updated because
Yeah.
it loves me.
And for some reason it hasn't updated Obo's one. You said you got 11, yeah? What has it? No, it hasn't. Somehow Azrael's on there twice. Cool. And I'm gonna roll for the steam creatures as well.
I don't see Sean on there.
That's a good question.
19.
Cool. Where is your character? Can't see him.
I'm here.
Let's zoom out a bit.
Oh, it's because I'm on
Oh,
top.
is it because you're on top of him? Oh.
Ooh, well, hey.
But
I didn't know.
He's not in a turn order.
I didn't know it was going to be that kind of game.
Time for this. That's cool.
Maybe later. We'll talk later.
What initiative did you get?
19.
Cool.
Oh, this is. As Cork looks at his maul and looks at the steam and goes, "What? This doesn't work in Cork's head."
Cool.
Oh no, they look far worse than I had imagined.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I could see 12B there, by the way.
Oh, did I bring that down with it?
Yep. Cool.
There you go.
Oh, these things look lovely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did say that I didn't know if it was going to work.
So
this is not my fault.
oh, let's go.
Guys, we're bad at riddles.
So, Azrael, you're up first. So you see these three steam creatures materialize from the foot of this monkey. And they
Did you
just...
say steam creatures?
Yes.
What? I can't shoot that.
I can't hit that.
Can I can see them, yeah.
Yes.
Even though there's because I've moved myself outside, so.
Yeah, as long as you've got enough vision. If you can actually see them with your vision, then yeah, you're better to do so.
Oh, Toll the Dead.
I'm going to do Toll the Dead, please. I didn't mean to press the button. I was trying to get it to pop down so I could read the spell, but I'm doing Toll the
That's
Dead.
fine.
So we'll save and throw, please. Yeah.
Wisdom saving throw, yeah?
Wisdom saving throw, sorry, yeah. I say a prayer to Mateo, and a loud bell rings inside the temple. That's a bit passing.
So yeah, 19 they got. So I'm assuming there's a pass. Do they take half damage or?
No, it's a cantrip, so nothing happens. A loud bell tolls inside the temple, but has no effect on any of them. So I'm gonna take a couple of steps back just to give people room to get out, and that's my go over.
Hawk's stomach rumbles when he hears the bell.
And Rick Connell, you're up next.
Okay, so the three of them are there pretty close together, right?
Yes, yeah. They're
Would you say
adjacent to each
they're
other.
all within 10 feet of each other?
Yeah. Yeah, these
Okay.
are 5 foot squares, each of these squares.
Yep.
So,
Okay, cool. So if I shot in the middle of them, the other two would be within a 10-foot radius.
Circle, radius, whatever, yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Who's in front of me?
Hawk's up front.
Me.
Cork, how big are you?
6.5 inches. He's 6.5 foot. Which...
Okay. All right. And roughly how tall are you, Jessica?
I don't remember.
Do you reckon you could maybe flatten yourself against the wall real quick? And Cork, can you like jump for me?
There's there's an on-running thing of Cork having arrows and various other projectiles thrown at him, so I'd just crack on.
I was just gonna try to shoot between Cork's legs because there's no way he's gonna be able to duck low enough for me to shoot over him.
I'm just gonna squidge up against the wall then.
Yeah. So I reckon he's gonna like crouch and aim under Cork towards the Mephits.
Were you at least?
And I'm gonna use my final arcane shot to do a bursting arrow. on the center method.
No.
Cool.
And I'm just gonna be like, nope, don't like this. You guys can go now. Bye bye. Time to go. Boom.
Cork is boom.
Do you need to roll for what's the?
Yeah, I need
do
to roll a ranged
save, or-
attack.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
So it should be in your attacks. If it's not, then you can just click on the spell and it should roll a range attack for it or a view.
let me see if I can do that. I couldn't figure it out before.
If not, we can just roll a d20 and work it out
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah, I might do that so I don't slow things down too much because
Yeah,
I'm not.
sure.
I can, droid roll a digital one or a physical one.
Just roll a digital one on here. We can. So on the left-hand side, you've got a d20 symbol.
Yeah, yeah.
Second one from the
I
bottom.
remember how to do that
Yeah.
part, but I
Okay,
can't
cool.
figure out how to do the specific skills.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Now add your proficiency and your attack.
I love how anxious Cork is right now.
Okay.
Luckily, it's not a 1.
+7 to hit.
Cork is much more confident.
So you hit.
Okay. So that is 1d6 plus 2 plus. What is it again? An extra 2d6 force damage. Okay.
It's a lot
So
of damage.
yeah. All right. I'm
Roll it
gonna
however
roll
you
a
like.
1d6 there, and then just for funsies, I'm gonna roll my special advanced damage dice.
Ooh.
Ah,
That's
do
the
that.
sound someone makes when they roll a 6.
Yeah.
they take 2
Yeah.
force damage each.
Is that each? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
the middle one takes the first roll, the digital roll, and the other
Which was
all of
6,
them
yeah?
take 2 force damage.
So it's Arcane Blast or.
Bursting arrow is my special ability using arcane shot. I have two special abilities with arcane shot. Oh, hello. Now, can I shoot them mundanely?
Yeah. Well, so yeah. You can just try and shoot them if you wish to do so.
Okay, cool. Because I have extra attack as well. Since I attacked, I can shoot again. And thankfully, because I have crossbow expert, I can ignore the loading property. And I can shoot him again. And what's my other thing here? Okay, I'm not going to use that yet, just in case we need it later. So I'm just going to use extra attack.
Oh, we've got a surprise coming later.
So
We know
that's
that hits.
That's plus. You said.
+7. Yeah, so
Yeah,
13.
yeah, so that
12,
hits.
12.
Yeah, 13 hits.
Okay.
Is this going for the middle one as well? Just with a
Yeah, I'll
straight
go for the
arrow?
one that I already did the most damage to again. So that's just a 1d6 plus 2.
So 8, right?
So 8. Yep.
Cool. So yeah, you fire another arrow and once again it whizzes past Cork's head and straight into the steam effort and little bursts of steam wisp off of it as it hits it. And Sarkis, you're up.
Okay, so I don't think that did much, but you know.
All I can ask is you don't hit me. You've done that. That's perfect.
He didn't hit you while shooting through your legs.
I know.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is a
there's
skilled
one thing I'm
archer.
good at. It's shooting.
Could have been very dire. I don't want to have to write into Cork's story that he's lost something important.
I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike on myself. And moving like the wind, I'm going to move up and around. So with this one, whilst drawing my longsword.
Uh-huh.
With my bonus action, I'm going to points at this one here. And when I strike him, he will take force damage in addition to my strike.
Cool.
So, with my second action, I'm gonna whack at him with my longsword. Drop. Pick them up. Right.
You Sheet hand.
It's just decided that it's not going to roll the dice.
So if you're in your character sheet,
It's alright. I've
Okay.
been completing that moron. I was clicking on the equipment.
yeah,
Uh,
it should be in the weapons
Okay.
section.
there we go.
Nice. So a 7. Unfortunately, you literally swipe at mist and miss it. Maybe they just sort of deform around your sword and then reform again in there.
Don't worry, guys. I think I've got their attention.
Oh no, he missed.
do
I
you have a second attack?
No, I forgot how to strike. Yep, no, that's my 2 actions.
Okay, cool. Cork, you're up.
Cork, with his maul in hand. Will... yeah. Should I rage? Would Cork rage? Cork wouldn't necessarily, potentially, utterly rage. Cork's gonna rage as a bonus.
Uh-oh.
Steam makes Cork angry.
I'm trying to think, how would this make Cork angry? I'd say being shot between the legs and nearly having his nut shot off would make Cork very angry. So I'll rage, which is my bonus action. I shall walk up to the one on the... so I'm next to the one on the right. I'm going to hit the one in the middle with a great reckless mauling.
Cool.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Good job. That was a reckless mauling.
Is that a 7?
Well, luckily, yeah, it is. Luckily, Cork has an extra attack.
Yeah.
So let's give that a second go, shall we?
Practice roll.
Yeah.
Practice roll, guys. Let's give that a second shot. That's better. 2 12s. Okay. Does 13 hit?
Yes, a 13 does hit.
Okay, so the one in the middle. 20 damage. 22 damage.
Nice.
Yeah. It's so much I have to consider. What?
So yeah, as you swipe it with your maul, it just sort of dissipates and goes into nothingness, and the steam just sort of goes away. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank Christ.
And then Oboe, you're up.
Can I, from where I am, can I shoot one with a crossbow?
Yeah, if you've got the range and the line of sight, then yeah, you should be able to do so.
Well, that's why I was asking you if I've got the line of sight.
You may well need to move 1 square forward, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Because the middle, you would have been able to shoot the middle one, but Corpse dispatched it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll take a step forward, take an aim. I'll shoot the one on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Normal roll. And that's an 11.
Yeah, 11 hits.
Oh, cool. And then 2 points of damage. There we go.
Good hit.
It was a hit. So
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Yeah, so yet again, the arrow goes whizzing through and hits into the steam monster and wisps of smoke come off of it. Yeah. Do you have a second attack or anything?
No, that's it. That's me done.
Cool. Jessica.
I'm gonna pull out my trusty longbow
Mhm.
and shoot. I shoot at the one on. Oh
it.
gosh.
Do it. Do it.
I shoot at the one on Cork as I am being encouraged to do so, and as I do, I will just simply say quack because I've forgotten the animal that makes that noise, and hopefully that's enough.
Cool. So yeah, roll.
8.
An 8. Unfortunately, doesn't hit. It goes flying past Cork and the monster and buries itself in the wall opposite.
I have one more attack. A second attack. So I'll do that again.
Oh, good.
13, 18.
Yeah, 18 hits.
And 6 piercing.
Cool.
So,
That's fine. All right. So it's now the two steam creatures' turns, and they both turn to Cork and Sarkis, and they just start screaming in your face with a wailing sound, almost like a kettle boiling. No. And could you each make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Ooh, I will get advantage on that one because I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
$13.
Cool.
18.
Nice. And what happens is they scream at you and it gets louder and louder, and then they just explode almost, and the pieces dust just goes everywhere, and you feel sort of like water vapor, sort of a light misting cover you, but other than that, nothing much happens.
Seems
They,
moist.
Yeah. And then they're no longer.
All 3 of them?
All 3 of them, yeah. So they've all just disappeared.
Cork is just angry and confused. Just they burst at him. He's just, why?
We'll stay in initiative for now, just in case anything else happens.
That's simultaneously a relief, but also disappointing because I was about to try something stupid.
Don't worry. Let's give it a shot. We'll give you an opportunity to do something stupid if you decide to go with, let's see, the boar, because his friend got eaten, so why not? He doesn't have a friend anymore.
But no, it says one of the boar's friends. So there's multiple friends.
Well, that's it. We need someone who has a friend who is a friend of the monkey.
The vulture, because he's alive. The boar's dead. The zebra is eaten. The lion has no friends. The vulture's the only one that's alive.
Why would the boar be dead?
Because he died of starvation.
Are we sure?
He was eaten by the lion. Wow.
Then it could be the vulture.
No, but the vulture is lucky to be alive, so he didn't die.
But he's alive.
But he's alive, and it's somebody else that doesn't have friends.
Yeah.
The vulture could be friends with either the lion or the boar.
So we poured. Which one did we pour it on?
We did the zebra.
Okay. So
No,
we've
that.
got 2 more choices. You got the boar or the vulture. 50-50. Toss a coin.
If the
ball
lion's
would-
going around eating people, he probably doesn't have any friends.
Well, that's the thing. The ball will have died of starvation because the lion's eaten. So, Vulture. Vulture's the only one that's got nothing said about him. We only know that he is alive.
And he's lucky to be alive.
Vulture.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm inclined to go Vulture because of obscure song lyric references, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the D&D writers are music nerds.
Well, what's the song?
Well, it's actually, like, now that I think about it, it's actually the one that I was singing before, because vultures and buzzards are both carrion eaters,
Yeah.
and the buzzard took the monkey for a ride in the air.
Oh. Mhm. There you
Now, that
go.
could be a stretch, but also knowing some of the writers, I wouldn't be surprised.
Did the writers like the mid-90s point-and-click adventure games by any chance? I just went, what would mess with the player? What puzzle is very specific that they can't solve? Of course, you need to bite the mice with the vampire teeth to get the blood to fill the thing and do that. Everybody thinks about that, right? And that is an actual riddle from Discworld 2.
So, which one are we going with?
Which one was the vulture mask?
Vulture Mask was this one here on the right-hand side.
Okay, so that is the left hand. So
Okay.
water in the left hand.
Sure. So
Someone else can have a go this time.
So,
Who's
can I
stepping
just
up?
say, Did you destroy my water skin?
I don't know if I destroyed it, but
it's
it
like
might
a hole
need
for
some...
it.
It does sound like it's destroyed. So yeah, if you could go onto your character sheet and delete that, that'd be amazing.
I'll throw my water skin.
Do you wanna leave the room?
No, Cork's going to stay in the room pretty pissed at this point.
I'll crack out my water skin and pour some water into the.
I'm claiming
hand,
Cork is still
left hand,
agitated
left hand.
at the moment.
So as you pour water from your water skin into the open hand, you hear a snarling, just Azrael in his head, and a disembodied voice says, "Take the prize and curse your friends, or fight my children to claim it. What is your choice?" And as he says the word choice, the top of the head of the monkey opens up, and a small cube appears, just lifting out the top.
Take the prize and curse your friends. So if
Yeah.
I take it and then start swearing at my friends, should be fine.
And so, Azrael, can you tell me what the last window you looked through? I believe it was the vulture. Was that
That was the last one I looked through. Yeah.
cool? Could you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Yeah. So it's dexterity, you said, was it?
Constitution.
That's a 7 + 1, which is 8.
Nice. Because you've failed that, what happens is you slowly start to grow features that are vulture-like. So your face starts becoming really pointed, and your feet start to become.
I think Azrael's having a
Like-
problem. It seems to be turning into like a catbird.
Okay, so are we playing D&D or Jumanji?
Yeah. It's very much like that. So you start sprouting like feathers on your back, and your arms start shifting into.
Is he gonna try to like start
Oh.
biting and chasing himself now?
Cork looks very confused at Azrael and then looks back at Sarkis and goes, Cork, no smash bird.
And then, meanwhile, at the same time, 4 individuals seem to appear out of nowhere in front of you all, and they are Sioux monsters. You're aware of them.
Yeah.
Let's see if I
How long would you say it's been since that combat ended?
You've had time to decide whether you want to pour water.
I'll be outraged. I think rage lasts a minute or 2 minutes.
If it's a minute, I'd say that you've probably still got time to be enraged. You've only gone, that didn't work. Let's try this one. Dump some more water on it.
Your rage lasts for 1 minute.
Yeah, I'd say you're still enraged.
Yeah, but you found your water skin as well, Cork. Worn,
Yeah.
strength, uncared for, unloved. Just ruined by that person who picked up along the way.
So let's.
I don't like this.
Sarkis, your mic's cutting out a little bit for me.
Azrael, I've put a vulture's character sheet in your player journal. So you now have the characteristics and everything of a vulture.
Will that go well with your mask?
The tiger mask I'm wearing. No. Right. Okay. In my character sheet, you mean?
No, it should be in the journal. You should have access to the vulture as well. So you should
He has just
roll
permanently changed your character. There's probably spells to remove that.
I'll let you know. It says it's a
Probably got
polymorph spell. Yeah. It's a polymorph spell and will end after 24 hours.
Excellent.
Okay.
So the sea monsters are just gonna roll for their initiative.
I
And
bet they
then
are.
It's up to you guys to decide what you want to do in 2 seconds.
So it's take the thing and curse our friends. What was the exact wording again? Sorry.
I put it into the chat, but I'll read it out to you again
Oh, I've
now.
got it.
I'll do it. So,
Yep.
so
Do it
take
in
the
your new
prize.
voice.
Take the prize and curse your friends, or fight my children to claim it. What is your choice?
Cork.
Um,
Will.
Smash
his
the
hand. Cork will go to grab the thing. We'll just start looking at his friends and say, "Fuck you, fuck you."
Hey, no, I don't have anything to do with this. Don't touch it. Don't
Cork's
touch
grabbing
it. Punch the little dude next to you. Punch. You like punching, right? Punch the thing. Don't touch the thing. Punch the guy.
Take the prize, Cork. Take the prize.
Also, I'll give Sarkis some inspiration for getting the riddle correct as well earlier on.
Excellent.
Thank you.
What's a little like cursing between friends?
Yeah, that's all. Cork's going to attack them with foul language while taking the item.
Oh no.
Don't
Yeah, so
worry.
you're gonna climb up on top of the statue.
Before I do I suggest to Larkus that maybe, or Sarkis, maybe just move around the other side of the monkeys, just not so you're in the corner on your own?
Not a
Yes. So in true sea monster fashion, they are currently hanging upside down off the various areas of the monkey statue in front of him. So he would be able to wander around.
Smart.
They're not actually doing anything aggressive as of yet. They're just giving you menacing stares.
I mean, unless anybody has any better idea, Cork is slowly climbing up to grab the thing while muttering curses at all of you. An insult.
Doing that scene from Knives Out, eat shit, eat shit, eat shit.
How intelligent is Cork?
Cork
Oh,
is,
he's like a genius in his
Yeah.
tribe.
Cork is a -1. on his
Okay,
modifier.
that's cool. Okay.
You should meet his father. He was stupid.
Cork's
Um,
the leader of his clan, I'll have you know.
What
Um,
clan you said that has been destroyed and is no longer, and you're the last surviving member?
Can I use Druidcraft
Or
and
do you like to use
distract
Druid
Cork?
if you say
Oh.
anything to Cork, Cork will stop.
Oh, I have an idea. What if could I shoot the box?
You can try.
Let's shoot at Cork.
It is our go-to solution for everything.
Look, these things, right? We know they attack with claws, which is fine. That's physical damage. We know they attack with psychic damage, and Cork has a psychic ring. Cork will do this. He's up front. He's willing, and he's swearing at all of you.
Also, there's a concern. Like, is it Azrael that needs to be the one to take it, or can any of us take it?
I'm not sure that I can take it now.
Yeah.
Cork, punch the monkey.
Cork, take the prize.
Just take it. I mean,
Cork's taking it, and is
Oh.
swearing at his friends. Cork's taking it and swearing at his friends. What more can I say?
what's the
best
worst that
person
could happen?
Cork is.
Oh, famous last words.
Yeah. So as you reach up to the box and put your hand on it, all of the sea monsters' faces just turn and like their heads snap round to you, and they just start like baring their teeth in almost like a funky, like aggressive fashion at you, and they swoop like the two on the three on the sides jump down onto the floor, and the one in front just growls at you and looks like he's gonna pounce on you. So Jessica, you're next in line in the initiative order. What would you like to do?
Are they being aggressive?
They look to be hostile, yes. Should we say?
I guess I'll shoot one. The one that's closest to me. So
Oh,
that's my longbow. One.
this one, yeah.
And that's 22
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
hits.
for 9 piercing.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you fire your longbow and it sticks into the side of the sea monster. You sort of catch it as it's jumping down. And sort of,
Okay. And I get a second attack, so I will just do that again.
cool.
And that is 9.
Unfortunately, it does not hit. No, so that one just goes sailing past.
All right, and then I'm good.
And
Well, no, I'll move just into the room to give
okay,
other people a clear shot.
path. Yep.
Yeah.
Azrael, the vulture. You go around looking in stupid masks. You know what I mean? These sort of things happen.
So I'm fully
You have now fully
Physically a
transformed
bird?
into a
physically a
vulture.
bird. So
Yes.
I'm still me, but shaped as a bird, or I have an intelligence of 2.
You have your own intelligence. So you are, it's the polymorph spell, so it will just turn you into the physical form of that animal. I don't think you change into that animal psychologically or anything.
Can he fly?
Yes,
Yep.
away.
But no, that wasn't going to be my suggestion.
No, I'm going to go for a suggestion. I don't know if this is the right thing to do to not, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to fly up, grab the box in my talons, and try to leave the temple.
Cool. How much movement do you have? The flying up's fine. That's still just the same distance. Can you make it out, or how far do you?
My fly speed is 50 feet.
Okay, so yeah, you can obviously fly over the top of everyone else coming out, so you don't have the issue with that.
That's 8 squares to there horizontally. How far up did I have to fly? 10 feet, maybe.
Yeah, so you go back one.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll be about there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Right.
you sort of swoop up, grab the box, whilst the Sioux monsters are busy. The one in the middle focuses on Cork, and just fly off with it. Grasp. Can't say words. Grasped in your talons. Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing else happens. You literally just flown out with it.
I mean, the worrying thing is that the healer is down.
It is concerning.
And no purple dinosaur.
Yes, no purple, no Barney. Rick Connell, you're up.
Okay, so I've got enough movement. Which ones are on the ground? Are they all on the ground yet?
So the only one that isn't on the ground is the one that's directly at the back in the middle.
Okay, cool. All right. So I want to sort of run forward and dramatically like roll over the podium in between these two.
Yep.
You know, so like that whole thing. You know, I turn sideways and tip onto my back as I go over and hop down between them with my sword in hand.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna slash the one on the left with my scimitar.
Yep.
Let me just roll for that. Plus, what's my plus for that? +6. Okay. That's a 25.
Oof, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that definitely hits. I'm assuming that you'd end up sort of about here.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I was just sort of aiming to get in between them and like within range.
Yep.
1d6 plus 3, so that's 4 slashing damage to that guy.
Cool.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action that I get for Crossbow Expert to shoot the one that's not on the ground above me. So that is
disadvantage.
Actually no. Crossbow Expert means I don't get disadvantage when it's in close range.
Cool.
Yeah, I love that. That's +7, so that's 26 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
Okay, and that is 1d6 plus 2. How did I don't know what I did just before. So that's 8 piercing damage.
Nice.
And then I'm going to use extra attack and slash the other one behind me with the scimitar to finish up.
Excellent.
That's a pretty bold move.
Ah, that's a miss.
What is
I
that?
think it's a 9.
No, yeah, 9 doesn't hit, unfortunately. So yeah, you fly over the statue, you make a slashing attack to the one to the left, and then fire off your crossbow almost sort of from your hip in a sort of showmanship sort of way. But yeah, unfortunately, the last swipe doesn't make it to the Sioux monster. So yeah.
And then he's going to sort of stand there now and be like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sarkis.
Using I'm going to strike at the one in front of me. swiping through and missing on an 8, I believe.
Yep, unfortunately.
And then as my bonus action, I'm gonna use my conjuration, and I'm surrounded briefly by a silvery mist. And I teleport and appear here. And then I'm going to use my last action to sheath my sword and draw out my longbow.
Nice. I can't think who your character is.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Cool. Cool. You're up.
Orc, having just reached up, seen a bird come in and take the bloody thing, and just go. We'll turn around. We'll jump down. Which one has wreck hit?
He has hit the left one and the one that's still on top of the monolith to the right of that one in front of you.
So I'm not actually going to be able to hit that one over there simply because there's a giant statue in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I can hit the middle is obviously above ground.
Yes, off the floor. And then the one here is on the floor.
Cork will jump down from the statue he's on and basically just what seems to be something that Cork does every session and just
just death from above.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are we saying Cork is still raged or no?
I think we were saying you were, weren't we?
I'm happy if you're happy. Let's do it again. A great reckless mauling. That's going to be a hit.
Yep, hit.
20. Dirty 20. For 23 damage.
Oof. Well, good hit. Yeah, so you literally just come flying down and just pummel it right on the noggin. And it sort of squeals and hisses at you and makes weird sort of monkey, undulating monkey noises.
Time for a second attack then. There we go. So bear in mind, you will get advantage back on me. That's 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Well, 24.
Would you like to do this?
Cork has jumped down, hit once, and then as the maul hits the floor, just brings it back up for an uppercut on the monkey and just kind of splat it back up against the ceiling.
Nice.
Squished.
And the great
bits
thing
of
is,
bits of guts just start dripping down and onto the floor.
It's a good thing you got that soap.
I really need to stop wearing white when I go adventuring. God damn.
The great thing, Cork doesn't know what the soap is used for. Anyway,
don't drop it.
That gives Cork, because he's killed a monster, a bonus attack.
Nice.
So
Sentinel.
Cork doesn't have Sentinel, no. That's just Great Weapon Master, luckily. It's his passive element to it. So Cork will move up to... can he go underneath the monkey on the ceiling?
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to finish in that square. I'm happy for you to finish here.
Okay, yeah, I'll go up next to our new friend. And we'll just try one more time. I don't know if the bonus attack would be allowed to do the Great Reckless Mauling, to be honest with you. So I will do standard mauling.
Just a standard mauling.
Hang on.
Just a little
standard. Just
Just
a
a
minor
light
mauling
mauling.
this time. Before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can choose. Yeah, so I'll do. So It says before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty and if the attack hits, get +10 damage. Let me just have a look. The reckless attack. Okay, yeah.
Not too reckless. I'm right here, damn it.
I know, right? There we go. Just standard hit. That'll do.
Yeah, hits.
Nope. Rolled.
How much damage?
That
9?
is 11.
11. Nice.
Because you have to have the 2 for the slightly miffed bonus.
Yes.
As I
Cool.
rename range. Yeah.
Dave, you're up.
Okay, so as Azrael the bird flies past overhead and over past me, I will cast Dispel Magic.
Cool. Let's have a look.
He's going to fall to the floor.
He's a cat. He'll land on his feet.
He'll land on you.
He's gone past.
That's absolutely correct.
I'll cast Dispel Magic on him.
What level's Dispel Magic?
Let me check. On my spell, Dispel Magic is level 3.
Oh, yeah, that's fine then. So yeah, as you fly, you're welcome to roleplay as how you wish, Steve. What would your character do?
I think he just pops back into cat form, holding the cube with his feet, and then
Arms out.
lands on his front paws, and then makes a perfect roll because he's a cat.
So almost saying I'm going to flare it a little bit. So as I dive towards the floor, I'm going to go into a roll, release the box that I'm currently holding with the claws and our feet, flick it up in the air and catch it with my tail, and finish with a bit of a flourish.
And a bow. There we go.
Go.
And
Nice,
a little tip of
man,
the hat
hey.
to Obo.
That's a close call there, lad. I thought you were going to fly away.
Well, I wasn't going to fly away. I was going to just go outside.
I was lucky I was here, like.
Cats and birds don't really like each other. It was a bit of a weird cross-species situation going on there.
Yeah.
Do you have any other actions at all?
No, that's fine. I'll stay where I am.
Cool.
That's my only action. So yeah, Azrael is back.
So the sea monsters, all cackling and laughing, turn to the first one turns to Cork and tries to bite him.
You get advantage.
Oh no! So we can use both these. 16.
Actually, maybe not. Let me just refresh my memory. 17 armor class.
Nice. And so, its claws, dirty 20.
17 armor class?
Oh, and for 9 damage. But I'm assuming you halve that, right?
Yep.
Cool. The other one is gonna turn to Rick Connell and it's gonna look at him and try to it focuses on your eyes and just looks at you and you feel it like burning into the back of your head. And can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Fudge me.
How wise are you?
I don't know. Not very.
Not very. I picked a very bad group of friends. I'm obviously not very wise.
What's your...
Jesus, that's a 4.
Okay. Can you take 17 psychic damage, please? And as it does
Art.
so, you feel yourself become sort of paralyzed and stunned as well.
Seriously.
Need a medic. Need a medic.
Jessica.
Rek is just standing there like this.
just a disappointed face more than anything.
Yeah, he's not mad. He's disappointed.
Jessica.
Longbow. And I guess it's still on the same one that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's 16 to hit.
Hits.
9 damage, piercing.
Nice. Which one's that again? Sorry.
The one closest to me.
The one directly in front of you.
Directly in front of me, yeah.
Yep.
And with my second attack, I will also longbow.
Cool.
That is 21.
Yeah, also hits.
And 3 piercing.
Nice. So yeah, the 2 arrows just both like stick into him, and you hear the monkey squeal.
That's what I'm good for, making monkeys squeal.
As we all.
Right. My Roll20 character sheet seems to have broken, so I'm just opening up my information in D&D Beyond.
That's fine.
Right. So now I'm back in cat form. I'm going to make my way back in. Going to head to there. I'm going to take a shot at the one that's in front of Rek with my short bow. So that's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
So that's D6 plus 5.
How much damage was that again? Sorry, can't see.
Trying to roll it now.
Oh, okay.
So that's 7 points of damage for the shot.
And was that the same one that Jessica was firing at?
I was shooting at the one right in front of Rek.
The
So
one right
yeah,
in
that
front,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then with my bonus action, I'm going to summon Bernie. So a purple dinosaur will appear to the left of the one that's just south of Cork, and he's going to attack that one, please.
Sure. Let me find where I put Bernie. If you roll the damage, and I'll find him.
That's a 18 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
So roll damage. So he's going to take a big old bite down on the ape, doing 8 points damage.
Cool. You should better move him to where you wanted him, or is that where he was?
I'm going to plonk him there.
Cool. And so yeah, how would you like to do that one?
Oh yeah, I was just going to bite head clean off.
Nice. So yeah, you just chomp down, and his head just disintegrates, and then just or into the mouth of the T-Rex, and then just falls out of the neck onto the floor.
He does the old Jurassic Park bit and roars.
Yeah.
With victory. I'll have to go and wake my 11-year-old up to do the sound effect.
Yeah. Rek.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Just statued. Does he get saving throw?
Yeah, let's see if you can. Well, I'll let you see if you can try and break it. Let's do a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution? That's slightly better. Not with a roll like that, it's bloody not.
Did you have inspiration earlier?
I don't think I have inspiration.
Okay.
don't think I'd given any to Sean,
No.
unfortunately.
I haven't made any good enough jokes, apparently. Yeah, no, that's a 6.
Making me feel bad now. That's a hard thing to do.
Oh, no, I'm just messing. I'm just
I
messing.
know.
Some would say that's somehow inspiring that you've made him that upset.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets inspiration for that one.
Yeah. Sarkis, you're up.
I'm going to fire my bow at that one, Dara.
Cool.
That's 18
Yes. Hits.
for 8 points of piercing damage.
Nice. On the nose. How would you like to do that?
I like that. It disappears. The arrow, just as it's sort of screeching out from the last arrows that Jessica hit it with, the arrow pierces into its mouth and just bed itself in its brain and kill it.
Cool.
And then,
Cork. Oh, sorry.
with my remaining attack,
Oh, yes.
that starry thing,
Mm-hmm.
that's a statue in it,
That's the statue, yeah.
so I can't shoot past it.
I was allowing other people to shoot through it at other stuff there, so yeah. Because it's a monkey statue that's sort of up, and so you'd be able to fire projectiles through it at the other
Okay,
side.
I'll unleash my second shot at the one in front of Rec. So, yeah. No chance of me missing.
Nice. Yeah.
29.
Nice, yeah.
Doing 10 points of piercing damage.
Nice. Yeah, so he's looking very unhappy as arrows fly into the back of him.
And as
And
my
you-
bonus action, I will use no, won't ignore me. We've done it last time. And that's me done.
And Oboe. You're up.
Is it?
Oh, no, my bad. I skipped. I
I
went
think
through
you
twice.
deleted the monkeys.
Oh no, never mind.
No, they come after Oboe. It's just the because I've yeah, I won't go through reasons why, but yeah, they come after Oboe.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Cork, seeing his friend in a funny pose and seeing a dinosaur on the opposite side of him, is just in a very weird mood at the moment. He's going to try and hit the monkey.
Cool.
Walk, repose him.
Repose. Cork is actually very tempted after this just to grab the new friend and run out of the weird temple, just holding him under the arm, going, "Rah!" Great reckless mauling.
Yep.
Oh, unlucky.
14.
Hits.
18 damage.
Yeah, how would you like to do that one? Well,
Cork will simply just very quickly try to bat the monkey away, just bring his arc around in an opposite swing and bat the monkey away from from Wreck and into the monkey statue. So it splats in the same position as the monkey statue.
nice. So yeah, it just hits the back of the monkey statue and just sort of slides down it onto the floor.
Cork will then grab his new friend and just be like, out, no more. Just on his shoulders, like, run.
So as you do so, once you all get outside, you hear a loud explosion coming from the other side of the sea, and you see just a big, almost like ball of smoke just appearing from another statue on the far side, and you hear like 3 or 4 further explosions and more puffs of smoke appearing in the distance.
That doesn't sound good.
Can we see those things of smoke?
Yeah.
Is Rex still paralysed?
He will
Cork
come
lifts up
round
Rex so he can see.
after a minute. He becomes unparalyzed. So yeah.
Cork's just holding Wreck up so he can see while still paralyzed. Potions.
So I'll let you know. It's from the south where the explosion's coming from.
Right.
My web browser's being really slow, so I can't actually ping it in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, and that's where we're going to leave it today. And so you've got your first puzzle cube. You know that you've got a couple more to get, and yeah, so
We killed mist things and monkeys.
So which puzzle cube have we got?
Does it look like Seamus's puzzle cube?
it does not. No,
Okay.
they're sort of stone, and it's got a carving on the outside of it of monkey effigies into the actual.
So around all
Stone
6
itself.
sides, it's got monkey effigies.
Yeah. Yeah, no side is different to any of the others.
Yeah.
So
So this is Wongo's puzzle cube.
yes, that's correct. If you want to let me know who's keeping hold of it.
I've put it into my notes, so Azrael had it, didn't he? So
Yeah, Azra
Yeah,
had it in his
Wongo.
hand, so if he wants to keep hold of it.
Just for that moment where later on he goes, all the people who have puzzle cubes, polymorphed.
do you want a puzzle cube, Cork? Oh, no, thanks, I'm good. Whoa.
Cork no like cubes. Weird shape doesn't like.
Only like cola bottles.
Yeah. So if you can all see the map now, players, that is, it's coming from the sort of southeast area of the map.
Okay.
Down here.
Okay.
So yeah, just lots of puffs of billowing smoke and explosions and whatnot.
Yeah, I told him not to touch it, Ryan.
Cool. And yeah, as I say, that's where we're going to leave it for today. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks Sean for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And Lee as well for once again stepping in for us.
My pleasure, guys.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Where did you say that thing was?
What where the explosion was coming from?
Yeah.
Down here.
Oh no.
In this corner.
Okay, it looks like we're on the wrong side of the river.
You're just trying to make as many the mummy jokes as possible.
I've been waiting for opportunities left, right, and center, but they just weren't
I
quite
know
coming
now
up.
because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that. It's been so long that it's actually just gonna be like that kind of thing where it's so long, it's gonna be so fresh to me now.
And thankfully now that I've been watching the screen while we've been playing the whole time, I have so many channel points.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, you can use them to get emojis or emotes.
I did. I got the little
the badger head.
necro badger, but I'm saving them to mess with you guys at the start of every session now.
Good.
Good. You get a thinking necro badger one.
Oh, neat.
Oh,
You
thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Lee.
Next time Cork has to remember
Thanks,
what
Lee.
happened.
Yeah. Big thanks to everyone that's still with us. And we will catch you in 2 weeks' time. So I can't hear you, Dave, if you're muted. Also, a big thank you to our sponsors, Beadle and Grim, and
Yeah, Beadle and
as
Grim.
well. I'm assuming that's what Dave was trying to remind me of.
I was just going to say, if the Beadle and Grim advert actually works this time, we'll leave off with that. But also, official Paizo are open if we want to go and raid them.
Yeah, man, let's do it. Are they?
Oh yeah, they were
playing,
online,
or
weren't they?
Are they?
They're playing now.
Yeah,
Official
man. let's do
Paizo,
it.
Steve, take us.
Yeah, boy.
Something worth mentioning, we did get raided right at the beginning of the stream.
We got like
Yes,
3
we did,
raids.
Did we
Yeah.
get 3? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
there were at least, I saw at least 2. I think there was another one.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, thanks to everyone that's raided us. If anyone's stuck with us as well, brilliant.
Thank you all. Remember, check us out on check out the Beetle and Grim link. Steve will just put it into chat before we leave. So we'll leave you with that before we head off on our little raid. And we're back next Thursday with Runelords. So join us then.
Ah, okay. All right, nerdy chicken. I thought I remembered that from earlier conversation.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
See you all.
Bye.
See you all next
Bye.
time.
Bye.
Cheers, Sean. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
We're
you.
going to see you again on this channel in January. Yeah. We'll see you again. But we'll have a chat before that. We got to do like a Q&A interview with about your player shield anyway.
Sounds great to me.
Cool. Right.
Stick around
See
for
you
the
all.
raid. So
Yeah.
after the advert.
Yeah. Stick around for the raid, everyone.
Yeah, we'll just go straight into the end. Does anyone want to see? Should we? Oh, let's just put it on. See one minute. Bye. I have control. I have the power. I can push the buttons.
Yeah, but I can just push the button to do raid now if you really.
You've probably seen me in many a horrible movie back in the 90s. Can we start again? It's me, Matt! Hi. I'm major motion picture star Matthew Lillard. Hi. All right, Sam. I'm Matthew Lillard. What's the line? You just do whatever the fuck. I almost had it. I got booger on my shirt. What's the first line? I was in terrible movies during the 90s. You grew up on them and you watched them, sucker. My name is Matthew Lillard. You may know me as Beetle from Beetle and Grimm's. Last couple of years, our company is focused primarily on the DM, creating battle maps, in-world handouts, jewelry items, and of course, stuffed animals. Now it's time to focus on you, the players. Because when we gather around a table, we're not there to hear a story, we're there to tell a story. All of us. And sometimes that story goes on for years and is remembered only on coffee-stained scraps of paper or 3 random journals. But worst of all, it's in your head. And why is that bad? Because I'm not that smart. Bill's way smarter than me. When he says it's Grimm that killed the frost giant that was on its way to destroy the town, I can't really argue with him because I don't have it on a journal. And if I had it in a journal, sitting on a bookshelf, you could just say, hey, check out my journal. We all know the problem with a journal. In a real game, when are you gonna use that thing? On a real night of gaming, you bounce from a core rule book to the advanced player's guide, and of course your character sheet. And the entire game goes like boom, to boom, to boom, to boom, to boom, 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 boom. You never go back to this thing. And again, the story is only in your brain, and Bill's telling you that he is the real champion. But what if? Stay with me here. What if, Charlie? Charlie, thanks. What if we created a single book specifically tailored for your character class? And what if it had an enormous character sheet to record every detail of your character? Every stat, every strength, weakness, magic item, enemy, ally, even your familiar. And then took all the official Pathfinder rules, the spells, feats, and skills that you need for your class and your class only, and combined that with an expansive journal to capture your story. And obviously it's only useful if it's on heavy paper to handle the years of wear and tear, and bound on a lay-flat binding so you can use every inch of it. And of course, us being us, we add amazing artwork from across the Pathfinder universe, as well as our own custom pieces, commissioned specifically for this book. And that's why I'm here today, to introduce you to Beetle and Grimm's complete character chronicle. Character sheet, rulebook, journal, all in one. The tools to tell your story and the pages to preserve it. If my story had been included in one of these, I'm pretty sure that Beetle, the greatest dungeon delver ever, would have been the true hero of the group. Not Bodum, not Tanner, and definitely not Grimm. Because it all would have been written down, the incontestable truth. Or at least, a well-documented lie. Which is just as good. I'm Matthew Lillard, and we are Beetle and Grimm.